Hi everyone.
Hi.
안녕하세요.
Hi.
Hi
Can you all hear?
everyone. Can everyone hear me well?
들리시죠?
Okay, so you guys all hear us?
네, 안녕하십니까. 브라운더스트2
Hi everyone. I'm Jongho, executive producer.
네, 안녕하세요.
Hello everyone, I'm Lee Hee. I'm the project director.
네, 안녕하세요. 캐릭터 디자이너.
Hi, I'm Sungyeon, aka Origami, the character designer. Really nice to meet you.
네. 오늘
Oh,
한달
but
만에 방송을 하게 됐는데요. 근데 오늘
it's so nice to be back after a month, but I don't see Jongwon
I
today.
know.
What's going on?
Yeah, so
어떻게 된 건지 설명 좀 부탁드리겠습니다.
what happened to Jongho?
지하실에서 열심히 스토리 작성하고 있고요.
Yeah, he's in the basement grinding the story, but no, don't worry. I'll relay the juicy story bits for him.
네, 그래도 되게
Yeah.
컴팩트한 구성이
I guess it'll be extra compact today. I'll breathe some fresh air for Jongwon before I head back
혹시나 오해해서
underground.
하는 말이지만
But
정원님 잘 있습니다.
don't worry, he's
오해하지
fine.
말아주세요. 나가리
So
아닙니다.
no
정원님 잘 있습니다.
misunderstandings. He's not going to be out of the game.
네.
Yes, it's very well.
스토리의 어떤 재미나
Right, so to make the story more fun and polished, they gave him a seat next to Origami in the basement.
지하실 선배로서 좀 한 말씀 해주시죠.
So Origami, as the senior dweller of the basement, any words of advice?
Well, you have to pop that vitamin D because you don't really get a lot of sunlight. So you need to eat food with beans. I recommend you to eat jjajangmyeon and fried dumplings.
근데 이게
Why? Why is it jjajangmyeon?
근데 이게
Well, because there's beans. But what is the Naobi's basement exactly? What goes down there? What happens?
약간 시간과 정신의 방해가.
I think you get to practice a lot, or you need to go through a lot of training in the basement.
올드보이 감성이랄까.
Yeah.
Like the
Maybe-
movie Old Boy, you know?
어떻게 보면 좀 지하실 선배로서 노하우를 좀 잘 말씀해 주신 것 같고요.
Well, thank you for the wisdom. As the senior dweller of the basement, we really look forward to the day Jongwon joins us again.
해보겠습니다.
So now, let's get today's show started.
네. 저희가 이제 본격적으로 오늘 방송
So before we really dive into today's stream, we wanted to do a quick recap of what we did in August
브레이킹 삼아서 그것들 잠깐
as
보고
an icebreaker,
본격적인 내용들
and then let's dive into the content that we prepared for today.
네, 하나하나 보기에는 조금 이제 지루하실까봐
So we jammed everything together in one slide for convenience. So from left, in early August, we had Busan Illustrata Fest.
8월 중순에는
In mid-August, we had Natsukomi in Tokyo.
참가했었죠. 네, 그리고 그 뒤로 이제
And then
그 주말에 이제
during the same period, almost, we towards the end of August, we had
뉴욕에서는
Anime NYC in New York and
팬시 프론티어.
Fancy Frontier in Taipei.
개인적으로 이렇게 좀 어떤 동인 서클 부스와
I personally really love these events where indie circles and company booths come together
뭔가 동인
because you can really feel the passion of the fans and creators from the circles,
저희도 더
and that energy really fuels us too.
그리고 이제 이번에 특히 행사를 할 때 제가 이제
To
주로
share some highlights,
물론 이제
I was there at all events.
팬시 프론티어는 못 갔지만
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to join Fancy Frontier, but I joined all the other events.
저희 부스를 보시고는
Actually, one fan even commented, "Corporate booths keep the event alive." It was a very encouraging comment. At Comic Cat and Anime NYC, we really felt that Browndust2 is working globally.
전 세계에서 통한다.
Cosplay, skill cut scenes, they do appeal globally.
훨씬 더 잘할 수 있다.
Maybe we can give it another shot in the future and we can do even better.
또 팬시 프론티어에서는
At Fancy Frontier, unfortunately, as I said, I wasn't there, but
저희 네오이즈 분들이 직접 가셔서
our team was there.
행사장 밖까지
And you know, seeing that super long march line outside, it felt overwhelming, guilty, but also really epic.
더 잘해야겠다.
Made us
이런
think
느낌들을
we've
많이
gotta do even better for our fans.
저희가 오프라인 행사 진행하면서
Of course, we also noticed areas to improve in our offline events.
더좀 잘할 어떻게 하면 더 잘해야겠다.
So next time, we'll be more prepared.
것들을 좀 깨닫게 되었는데 앞으로는 좀 더 신경 써서 좀
So
부족했던
please stay
부분들
tuned
더잘
and
준비하도록 하겠습니다.
get excited for our future events.
네. 그리고 9월 달에도 아직 이제
All
저희가
right.
남아있는
In
일본에서는
September,
이제
we have some more events coming up.
이제 도쿄 게임쇼
In Japan,
남아있으니까 그것까지 잘
We have Tokyo Game Show,
또 이제 저희 팬분들 만나 뵐 수 있는
and we also have 2.5th event coming up.
하겠습니다. 네. 네. 그러면 간단히 저희 저희가 이제 8월 달에
Okay, so that was a quick recap of what we did in August. So let's check today's agenda.
네.
Oh wow, there's a lot.
내용이 많은데요.
All right, so a lot of content that we prepared for
그러면
today.
이제 항상 저희가 이런 내용들 살펴보기 앞서가지고
So before we dive in, Junhee, we have some gifts for our fans, right?
That's right. Now we've prepared 10 draw tickets per viewer, so use them well.
Wow,
사진 뭐
You can see my picture there.
look at his picture there.
약간 아련한데?
Yeah, what's with the picture?
약간 카리스마 있는.
Well, I can feel the charisma of Junhee.
네. 이번 주님 선물 역시 이 방송이 끝나면
So once again, awesome gift from Junhee. Just like always, after the stream, make sure to check your mailbox.
거기서는 잘 지내지.
So you look so sad for some reason.
네, 그러면은 업데이트 내용 같이
All right,
바로
then let's take a look at our
시작해볼까요?
updates together.
Okay.
가장 첫 번째 업데이트 소식은
First up,
시즌 이벤트 소식.
We've got an update on the season event.
설명해 주시죠.
Junhee.
신규 시즌 이벤트
Okay. Now, our new season event is Stigma of Dreams. Yeah, you can see some familiar faces. We've seen them before.
Wow, what a nice picture.
Yeah, you can see two characters.
공간에서 새로운
Now, there are new realms, new faces.
다리안과 함께 코키터스의
Sonia
시선을
leaves the
떠나서
Cocytus
어머니의
facility with Darien heading to Mother's Arm, and she arrives in a dreamy hall with 12 chairs reserved for Mother's daughters called Reverus. So these are 12 chairs, and as you know, Sonia gets one of the chairs, but
하지만 그 의자의
I don't think that everyone's thrilled she's there, because some might feel that she is unqualified. So they test her, and now we'll have to see whether she clears the trials and gets accepted as one of the Reveresses.
Oh wow.
Nice.
So look, wait, but their hands are at
Look at the
pretty
hands.
inappropriate places.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to say, I wanted to make it clear that it didn't really touch anything. So, yeah, you can see that it is not touching anything. It's Darien and Sonia.
아주 상징적이고
So, it's a super symbolic scene for the event. Sigma of Dreams happened in a space that's totally different from before. So, guys, stay tuned.
다음은 시즌
Also,
이벤트에 등장하는
meet the new fiend for our new season event. It's Frenzied Wolf. Now, it's a water-type fiend, stacks DOT, and gets stronger the more it's hit.
네.
All right.
시즌 이벤트에 등장하는
Now here are the
등장
characters
인물들
appearing in the
소개해드릴게요.
season event.
가장 좀 기대하시는 파트
So this is an epic part.
시작하겠습니다.
Go ahead. Let's introduce
Okay,
them.
Yeah, we can feel the dopamine hit. Oh, look, there's Sonia.
저 LG 저 아이들 모션은 이제 처음 아마 보시는
I
거예요.
think this motion is new to everyone.
나옵니다.
Yeah.
네, 귀여운 캐릭터를 선호하시는 팬분들께서
Yes, finally Sonia is here. A lot of fans who love cute characters have been asking about Sonia. She's a girl with split personalities.
소냐는 어둠 속성의 마법 디버퍼로
Shadow Dream Sonia will join as a new character. Sonia is a dark element magic debuffer. Her skills are unique. They trigger in 2 different forms.
Yeah, she really turned out gorgeous. And since she is a popular character, I think that many of you might have guessed she'd go playable. She has a fragile look, but split personality. And I think it needed a design that sells both without feeling off. And so we have to think about 2 different personalities, even though it's one character. You can see that moonlight shadow behind her, and this is definitely the point. And it slaps in skill cutscenes and special shots. And I think that it's quite interesting and unique, so you can see the fun part of it. But whenever there are new female characters, people ask for sexy voices, but there is not going to be any sexy voice for Sonia this time.
Yes. Let's
It's just
please
going to be-
protect Sonia.
Yeah, very clean.
다음 보시죠.
All right, then let's move on to the next one. Finally,
네, 드디어 다리안
Darien is here.
매끈하게 하얀 분이나
Very sleek.
맞습니다. 블레이드의 스토리에
Yes, she showed up in Blade's story and caught a lot of people's attention. Prophetic Dream Darien is joining as a brand new character. She's a water element damage dealer. She can hit a wide area, but also deals massive damage to her main target.
So as you can see, the concept was a single clean kick idea. It's simple, but it hits. So I really like this kind of concept. So you can see that it looks pure and elegant, but moves bold. And I think that it was really effective. This is quite one of the unique features. And I thought that it should be really clean and pure, but you can see that there are like bold moves. So you can see that she looks okay, but you can see that there is a bit of a nervousness, something that is kind of off, but not really.
So you
What do
say
you mean?
something a lot,
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
거시기로 다 설명.
Yeah.
거시기가
So something, something, something going
Yeah,
on.
I think that you already know. So yeah, she looks elegant, but not really. So you can see this big sis who kind of comforts you, but you're like, wait, why am I so nervous? So there is that kind of vibe.
그래서 칼을 들어올리니까 뭔가가 뭔가
So when she lifts the sword, that something comes out, right?
Yeah, something.
팽팽해지면서 뭔가가 뭔가네요. 뭔가
Yes. Something's moving, something's coming out, something's going
Yeah,
on
you
there.
can see
Yes.
something out of
But
it.
we can't really go into that something in more detail.
Yeah,
so let's
so,
quickly move on
yeah.
to the next one.
네. 아, 뭔가
Wow, that's a new face.
보면 약간 되게 포근하고 안락할 것 같은.
She looks very comfy and cushy, right?
네, 소개해 주시죠.
네. 햇살처럼
Yes, a mysterious character with a bright, sunny smile. Starlight Guardian Tyr is joining the roster. Tyr is a wind element physical dealer. She comes with a debuff that increases SP cost, but in exchange, she unleashes powerful wide
Look at
area
the
attacks.
chat. So many people.
Well, we
are
were getting
participating in
riled
the chat.
up.
Yeah, you can see that this premium plush body, thick in the best way. Just want to dive in. She has that kind of body, richness. So we really wanted to serve those folks who have or who like heavier builds too. And we've had some curvy characters before, but this time we leaned in for sure. We have put in more details. You can see that she has a very cute face, and it fills in the story and the dialogue. So I'm super hyped.
아, 근데 정말 이게 막 약간 흘러 넘치는 느낌.
Something is,
다른 어떤 되게 부드러운
Overflowing.
yes,
푹 파묻힌.
You actually
looks
wanna
very
go- yeah,
cushy. You
yeah.
really just want to dive in, you know.
That's right.
She looks so comfy.
Yeah, she's like a cushion.
그래야 되나? 아니면은
We can even turn her into a cushion.
Yeah, maybe. Or like a bean bag. So that's where we're heading.
좋아요.
I think that we're getting a lot of feedback, great feedback from our fans.
도파민 좀 약해하시면
Because if you look at these blend characters, they don't
Yeah.
really get a lot of good feedback. I think that our fans are asking for more.
Yes, yes, but something's coming up later, so
Uh-huh.
stay tuned.
Okay.
All right, let's move to next.
네. 네, 설명해 주시죠.
All right, please.
그 시즌 이벤트 소개에서 황금 경기장
So remember the golden arena background we showed earlier in the season event? She's the master of that place. Her name is Greta, a golden warrior with the title Dream of Desire.
플레이어블
She won't be
캐릭터로 출시되지는 않습니다.
she won't be a playable character this time though.
Okay, now I know that there are tons of muscle mommy enjoyers, but you know, variety matters. I think that's what I'm here for. But she's not like a full bodybuilder. I kept a feminine form, but I added muscle and volume tastefully. If your tastes aren't developed yet as a developer, maybe today's the day, might be the day for you. So I'm very curious for your feedback because it's not something that you see every day.
이 아까 앞에서 티르
So earlier we saw Tyr, right? She's a complete opposite of Tyr.
오는 갭 차이 때문에
So the complete opposite feeling. She's very charismatic. She's like a warrior, unlike Tyr.
Yeah.
여러 가지의
I think that it's going to be feeding the taste of a lot of our fans because they have various tastes, you know.
채팅창에도 있었는데
Yeah, you can see
숫자 같은
the
것들도
chat.
뭔가 또 떡밥인지 또 궁금해하시는
So a lot of people are waiting for more. Maybe they think that this is hinting at something.
Like more
것
details.
같습니다. 저는
Yeah, so I'm getting super hyped. I didn't really know that.
I didn't know that this was kind of like a hint, but I think this can serve as a hint for something else or something more.
그리고 9월 픽업 스케줄
Yeah, that's right. Now, there is something really special about this month's pickup schedule. Sonia and Tyr get the usual 2-week pickups, but Darian starts 1 week earlier for the fall holiday, Thanksgiving. So, at this October 2nd, Darian's pickup starts and it will run for 3 weeks.
그럼 계속해서 다음 업데이트.
Alright then, let's move on to the next update. Up next is
바로
the highlight of Browndust2, the skill cutscene showcase.
And you'll be
Are
seeing
you ready
a lot
for
of
a
dopamine
full-on dopamine? Of course, we've got videos ready for you guys.
Okay, so shall we watch the video right away?
처음에는 순서상 이렇게
Yeah,
올라가게 되어
well,
때문에
you know, it's in the agenda, it's in the order, so I guess that you can just have a light watch.
여기에도
Oh, you can see that there's
Oh.
numbers, right?
Yes, the numbers are definitely hinting at something.
뭔가 약간 좀 초반에는 불안해 보였는데 딱 바뀌니까 이제 좀 섬찟한.
Yeah.
So her face is cute, but the vibe is a little bit different here, right?
소녀인가요?
Right.
아니면은
So is it Sonia that you're talking about or Tanya?
귀여운데 분위기는 그렇지 않아.
You know,
Right,
the vibe?
it's like Tanya as well, like completely opposite vibe.
Yeah. Well, actually, I wanted to be a bit unsettling. We wanted to start from a very calm start, but then a sudden spike in mood was my attention. And since Tanya kept showing as a shadow, I wanted a clean Tanya shows through Sonia shot. Maybe that's the reason why, but I do love that you can read two characters on Sonia's face.
아, 네. 저는 저 약간 저 이펙트가 겹쳐가지고 약간 이클립스
I think,
머릿결 같은 표현인 건가라고 보고
I
있었는데
thought it was
그건
something
아니에요.
from like Eclipse, right? Like the hair,
Yeah,
maybe.
because like of the
Similar
overlapping
effect.
본인 번호를 저기다가
So she wrote her number on her body parts
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
I think it's hidden somewhere. Oh, look at the chat.
Wow,
Everybody's
chest blowing
super
up, chest
excited.
blowing up.
보면 비레미나랑 비슷한
In a way, I think it's similar to Wilhelmia, that blonde and uniform style, but Darian's elegance, that mysterious charm, it definitely stands out.
Yeah, it does. Well, she's beautiful, as you know, and shamelessly honest about her desire. So it's just pure Darian. Or I guess that's more like Browndust2. She's grown into an absolute star of her game. So I can't wait to see which concept she goes with next. I just want to see how crazy it can go.
네, 저는 딱 보자마자 아 이거
The
뭔가
moment that I saw this,
그 레전드를 갱신할 수 있지 않을까?
I think it can definitely set the record.
갱신하려고
You know, set the record and become maybe like the next best after Wilhelmia.
Maybe she could be legendary.
뭔가 표현하는 것도
And writing the number on her breast, I think that's pretty unique
Yeah,
and,
that is a
and
bit
new, right? Innovative, creative.
네.
Yeah, it does show her value.
그렇게 네.
And I think that it is quite new and fresh. Well, in most cases, they have like a grand opening, but for us, you can see that there is just one way that we're heading. We're just going to be putting the numbers on our breast.
그러면 마지막 하나 남았죠?
All right, we have
그레타는 이제
one more,
NPC 니까
right?
T를
Greta is NPC, so we don't have anything for Greta, but we have Tyr.
자신을
So let's watch Tyr's skill cutscene.
Oh, wow.
네. 아니 이게
Oh, wow.
앞에서 레전드
I
갱신했다고
know.
했는데
I thought we were already at the highest level with Darian, but definitely not, I guess.
Yeah.
한 번만 더
Well,
보여주시겠어요?
during the rehearsal.
Well,
Maybe
anyway,
watch
can
the-
somebody replay this one more time
Okay.
for everyone? Can we replay this?
가능한가요? 아, 네.
Oh, yeah. You can see the video once again.
잠깐만 여기서 홀드.
Okay, so can you please pause here? Or do we have to go to the next
No,
scene?
we can't.
게임에서
It's too dangerous.
게임에서, 네.
Okay, so I hope that you enjoy in game.
Please check it out yourself in the game.
It seems that like something kind
원래
of
이게
just popped
지금
up.
다른 컷이나고 다르게 원래는 이제
Unlike the other
바뀌었을 때
cutscenes,
이제 마지막 동작으로 마지막 그
The final posture or final movement is on replay, but that's just too risky for us. I think we're going to get stopped. We're going to get banned on YouTube. That's why we went back to the very beginning of the video. So please understand, everyone.
아주 뭐 확실히 살 표현이 정말 돋보이는 것
Yeah,
같아요.
you can see how this has been expressed. So from like which view did you come up with this kind of cutscene? Well, you can see that it's very rich, and I'm trying to give a bigger impact, like a stamp, you know, because her first appearance needed a bold stamp. And you know, Browndust2 is a feast for your eyes and nose, so we tuned it to max to keep the excitement going.
배꼽 부분에 저 표현도 다 의도돼 있는 건가요?
And that expression, a little bit of flash, a little bit of fat near her belly button, is it also intentional?
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually what I have intended.
4D 모니터인가요?
Did you see this in your 4D monitor?
No. Well, I actually wanted it to be like really feast for your eyes and nose. But I didn't know that you're going to be mentioning the nose, so I think that's really different.
되어 있군요. 약간 보통은
So her belly button, like, is supposed to be a little bit like vertical, but then it's horizontal here because it's a little fatty. Like she has a little bit of fat around it on her stomach.
Yeah, that's what I intended.
저희 채널이 좀 터질 수도 있으니까 넘어가도록.
I think we gotta stop here because if we drag on more, I think it's getting risky here.
Yeah, it's going to be explosive.
네, 하나 더 보여주시죠.
But apparently there's one more prepared.
이 반바지와 망상.
Oh, so can you see her shorts
네.
and her mesh ties?
드디어
Oh, wow.
뭔가
Finally here.
보니까 되게 뭔가 웅장해 보이는 느낌이에요. 약간 트랜스포머.
It looks very grand. It almost reminds me of Transformer, the movie.
Right.
추가되었습니다.
Yeah, we've added another cutscene.
Rafina skill cutscene.
Yep, so codename A, Rafina, gets a skill cutscene. It took quite a long time since I've promised that I'm going to be releasing a cutscene for Rafina. Sorry that it took so long. And we're working through the remaining 5-star cutscenes too, and we'll be rolling them out one by one. And I think that our fans are going to be loving the action robots. So we went really hard on the mecha look because, you know, that's what I really wanted to show our fans. And we thought you would all love that dopamine hit concept.
근데 저 라피나의 저 손목과 팔
The wrist and also the arm lines
여성스럽게
and her waist, very feminine. I love it.
Yeah. So you're not seeing the robot, you're seeing Rafina instead. I guess it's because he's the PD of Browndust2.
근데 되게 저 팔이 되게 네.
Yeah, but I love the slim lines on her body. I think it really makes her look very feminine.
See the camera walk. It's really nice. Oh, you're really focusing on the details, not the whole scene. Yeah, you're saying that look at her arms, look at her wrist, look at her waist.
Well, the details matter. The devil's in the detail. You know what they say,
That is
right?
Yeah, you know, Wilhelmina is the main character.
뭐지? 약간의 그 바늘이
And I think that Chong
바늘이
really likes.
딱 섞여 있는 의견을 자주 낸다.
Yeah.
그만해 이제.
So, yeah, you are giving us a lot of feedback. I know. I really love your feedback, but it seems like you're super excited.
Yeah, I guess I gotta stop here. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
그럼 이제
Well, to some extent,
머리
it's
약간
okay.
봉합하고
All right, then time to come back to the reality and go back to the next agenda. So next we have system additions and improvements. That's right. The September update will roll out in 2 parts, September 11 and September 25th. Regardless of the order, let's go through the big ones first. So first, after more than 1 year in trial seasons, Guild Raid is finally going live as a full season. And with the official launch, a few improvements are coming as well. Number 1, Guild Raid will now support practice battles. From the start of the season to the very end, you can try out both invasion defense and boss defense in practice mode. Plus, you can even set Lancelot's level however you like and test him out in practice battles. Of course, just keep in mind rewards and scores only count in official battles. Next, our third new monster is joining. It's got a steampunk vibe and its name is Doomsday Machina. As tough as it looks, it has extremely high defense, but it's weak against magic attacks. We're also adding an overkill system to make guild rankings more competitive. If two guilds tie on score, the overkill system will decide the winner. Before, once the boss's HP hits 0, the battle ended instantly. Now, even if the boss drops to 0, the fight continues until all characters finish their turn. Any extra damage dealt during that time will be counted as an overkill damage. This only applies in level 10 boss battles. And here's how it works. We take the top 3 players in each guild with the highest boss damage scores, add up their overkill damage, and the guild with the higher total earns the higher ranking. And we are also adding new guild emotes. The next guild raid will start on September 25th with a 6-week gap to prepare for the official season. That means that there will be a 2-week period without any guild raids. As compensation for that, all guild members will receive 50% of the top guild reward. That's 9,400 mercenary union certificates and 1,500 diamonds.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's a big reward. That's a big update.
But she'd be so calm.
So no slide, just verbal update. 50% of the all guild members will receive 50% of the top guild reward. 9,400 mercenary union certificates and 1,500 diamonds. That's amazing. Everyone, please sign up on Guild.
Yeah, so this was actually in our plan, but due to our dev schedule, we kind of delayed it.
All right, moving on. Next up is the home menu improvements.
Wow, homemade is also massive. You can see.
We have a big monitor here, and then she just showed up, and then I got a little bit surprised.
Yeah, this is like 200% zoom in.
Yeah, first we're adding zoom and move functions, something many of you requested. Here you're seeing Michaela's skill cutscene zoomed in at 200%. You can access this through a hidden button on the home screen, then use the same kind of UI as the interaction screen to zoom and move around.
Very excited.
And also, after adjusting the screen, you can also save it as your home background. And when you set a standing illustration on the home screen, you will now be able to set a separate background for it. A new background tab will be added, and you can assign different backgrounds to each standing illustration. We're also adding a preview button, so before you hit confirm, you can check your setup in advance. Next, a brand new wallpaper tab. You'll be able to set season event main titles and pack title images as your home background. And finally, we're adding a sound option so that even cutscenes on the home screen will play with audio.
Oh, okay. Now, all right, next up, we have talent skill updates. We have improved the talent skill slot UIs. You can see the EXPs and also the rank up status right away. And if you're ready to rank up, there's a big promote button, one tap, and it's done. We also have a third quick slot tab. You can drag left, right to reorder the skills from the talent skill page. So it's going to be super easy to reshuffle. There's also going to be an undo button added. And some of the talent skill features have been improved as well. Now you can delete Gloom Gluttony without a dash when you're using the overpower skill. Oh, wow. So there has been a lot of improvements. Yeah. So we fixed the actual skill ranges and effect mismatch issues. And you can also see what you hit. Stealth won't bump into field monsters or Gloom Gluttony anymore. So there's not going to be any awkward collisions from now. And there's also going to be some improvements for the talent skills like Surge, Danger Detection, Absorption, and Assemble. So while you're running, you can instantly skip the cutscenes. The new option has been added so your field character doesn't swap when using a talent skill. And if that character is set as a field character, talent cutscenes won't play at all. And next is about the battle UI for Fiend Hunter and Guild Raid. It's getting a major glow up. Now, if you're new to these battles, the biggest thing you gotta get is the boss's conditional skills. We're still using the old UI, so it was hard for our new players to see what skills the boss was about to pull. So now we're separating the UI for random skills and conditional skills, and this will make it way more intuitive to figure out what's coming up next. Plus, we're improving it so that you can always see the fiend's weakness percentage and all the buff and debuff icons without even having to tap on them. And for the guild bosses, we're adding a marker to the vitality bar so you know exactly when they're about to pop off and go into their overdrive state. Now, you can see that whenever there is like a huge event like this, we know that the banners get so long you have to scroll forever, which is why we're going to be fixing that. We're splitting the draw ticket banners into tabs for costume and equipment. Yeah, can you go to the screen before? Yeah, this is pretty much it. So yeah, we're going to be splitting for costume and equipment. And we also gave you a heads up about this on the last stream. The vitality cap for feeding your deployed characters or all your characters used to max out at 90%, but now we're raising it up to full 100%. And we're also making improvements so you can still use the inn even if your deployed characters are at 100% health. We're also going to be improving the recommend formation feature. The default sorting for recommend formation will now be by lowest combat power, and we're removing the cooldown on changing the combat power sort. In the last night, we're adding number of costumes you don't have, so it's easier to see which formations you can actually copy. Next, we have some improvements to the quick hunt page. The names of each hunting ground will show up before or below the icon, so even if you're a new player, it's now more intuitive. And on the right side, you can see the number of items you own from each hunting ground. You can see what kind of items that are being output, and you can all check yourselves. And other than that, in the hunting ground slides, you can also see what kind of items or materials you own. Next is about the UR guaranteed draw for equipment. This will be also improved. Yeah, getting a UR equipment for a 3-star or 5-star units will no longer reset count for UR guaranteed draw. And when it reaches 100, you will receive only a 5-star UR equipment. And I think that I've mentioned this during the previous stream. Based on the number of equipment draws before the update, we will grant one 3 to 5-star UR equipment draw ticket per 100 pulls. Alright, now that wraps up the update introductions.
All right, then next let's talk about the player survey. So Junie went through the updates very quickly, so we're now already at the survey.
Yeah, it's really fast.
We're only 30 minutes past the stream, so I think I'm a little worried for interpretation because we're speaking so fast. So let's intentionally slow down a little bit for the sake of interpretation. So let's dive into our survey. So we brought over just parts of the survey. The first question asks, among the content systems and QOL features updated in July, which improvement were you most satisfied with? Junhee?
All right. Now, in July, we rolled out a bunch of different QOL improvements. The most popular one was the character growth revamp, and in a close race for second and third place were the Gloopy Diner and the UI update that lets you check your equipment upgrade score. Guys also said you're super happy with the Fiend Hunter level select battles, the knockback display, and the costume display expansion as well. Yeah.
Oh, that means it's almost like
The same,
the
right?
same, yeah.
Yeah. So it seems that our fans are super happy about the updates. Okay, let's see the next one.
All right, then let's check out the next one. Next one is about the July update, but it asks how much you enjoy the story.
No, these are the ratings for Story Pack 18 and the season event Going Home. I'm definitely going to be covering more surveys about the story packs, but this time I'm going to be introducing you what kind of survey results we got for Story Pack 18 and season event. We're only counting the people who've actually played them. For Story Pack 18, we got 39% of our players thinking that it was fun, and 47% said it was a little fun. For the Going Home event, 37% said it was fun, and 51% said it's a little fun. So the story pack was slightly more lit.
All right, then let's check out the next question.
남녀 캐릭터와
This time we asked about male and female characters and the romance elements in the game. So
뜨겁게
it's one of the hottest topics players have been talking about across all regions. So Junie, please take away.
제가 할 말이
All right, there's a lot of things that I would like to talk about. I'm going to be quite slow, I know. Yeah, I think that Junie really needs a lot of water.
이번 설문은
All right, so we ran a survey recently because we've been seeing a lot of strong opinions about male characters, mostly negative, and we wanted to see what was up. So I think that because there were many different opinions, there were a lot of survey results that were divided. Long story short, 36% of you were cool with the romance that includes male and female characters, and another 22% were neutral. On the other hand, 6% wanted romance removed, and 12% didn't want any to be added. We also found out that 20% of you wanted to replace all the male characters with female ones. That's a pretty wild change, and we saw a lot of pushback on it after the survey. We actually wanted to see where or what you have thought, and I think that there are going to be a lot of changes. So we have seen a lot of pushback or negative feedback from the users in the survey, and we are definitely going to be very serious about this. But as we have expected, well, 20% is more than we have actually expected in the first place. We don't think it's enough to ignore all the players who love the characters and the story we already have, so we're going to be sticking with our current direction. We will drop more details on our plans in a bit.
아무래도 좀 민감한 부분이고.
Yes, a very sensitive topic and an important topic. So Junie wanted to go into a full detail for you.
네. 다음 설문은 이제 남자 캐릭터
So
등장에 대한
next one is regarding the appearance of or inclusion of male characters in the story.
이번 설문은 남자
Yeah.
캐릭터의 등장
So
자체에
yeah,
대한
we also ran a survey
다양한
on this because there were different takes on whether or not we should be adding new male characters. And based on the results, 53% of you were cool with male characters showing up, and another 17% said you didn't really care either way. So about 70% of you weren't against having male characters in the game. So you weren't really that negative, but when you add up all of the negative feedback on the other hand, it comes out to roughly 30%, which is definitely not a small number. You cannot really ignore that 30%. So for future character releases, we're thinking about adding a male character only if it's necessary for a specific story or situation.
많은 팬분들의 어떤 기대감과 기대와 걱정을
Yes.
살펴가지고
I know that a lot of fans have expectations or concerns at the same time. We want to protect the fun and uniqueness of our story as much as possible, and we'll do so moving forward.
다음 설문.
All right, then let's dive into the next question.
다음은
The next question is about
설문인데요.
fated guests.
설명 부탁드리겠습니다.
Junie, please take away.
Okay.
제가 과거 방송에서
I think I've mentioned this before during our previous streams, that we were hesitant to give main story or romance-focused characters a Bond story since some of you found it uncomfortable and uneasy about the fated guest. But after the Olivia update, a lot of you guys wanted a Bond story for him, so this made us think about our entire plan. So we ran a survey to see how you all actually felt, and the results were wild. Over 90% of you were down for it. That's a huge change, and it gives us way more freedom to be flexible with this going forward.
네, 다음은
All right.
주관식으로 작성.
Next is an
자유롭게
open-ended
써주신
question
분들에
asking
대해서
for a message to Browndust2.
말씀을 드리고 싶었습니다. 네. 일단 설문조사
So
결과를
based on the
바탕으로
survey
해서
results,
의견과 제안을
we've organized all the
써주신
feedback
횟수별로
and suggestions and sorted them by how often each one came up. So let's see.
먼저 남성 캐릭터의 존재에
Yes.
대해서
Now, a lot of you gave us feedback on having male characters in the game. We really did get a lot of feedback. It's probably because of the questions that we've asked you, but I know that many of you were super clear on your answers. Said don't remove or change characters like Lethal or Gray. and you feel it would hurt the story's depth, and you wanted them to keep their important roles, I understand. We also got a lot of requests to keep the story arcs and character relationships as they are, especially the romantic ones. Fans are worried that changing the story would mess up the game's charm and what makes it feel incomplete. So, our fans really wanted nothing to change, especially for the romantic ones. And I think that you're very concerned that it's going to be hurting the game.
Yeah, it's not here and it's not in the script, but we also got feedback that the devs should not be too swayed and they should stick to what they want to pursue, because then fans can support us. So that's one of the feedback that we got as well. So we're going to continue listening to all of your feedback very carefully, and at the same time we're going to stick to our core values and make sure that we deliver something that's very fun and enjoyable.
Okay.
근데 그것도 맞다. 그것도 맞다. 약간 이런 피드백들이 또 갑자기 감사합니다. 네.
Yes, and I see a lot of support from our comment section, so thank you for that, our fans. Alright, this one's about character design and art concepts. A lot of players said they're happy with the designs, especially the increase in sexy characters, but some also mentioned they don't want the game to rely too much on sexiness. Overall, the art style and character designs got high praise, especially the uniqueness and depth of each character. Now moving on, the next part is about collab, reruns, and new content. Many players said they'd like to see more in-game content along with reruns of past collaborations. And of course, more variety in content and more character costumes. I wanted to add a little bit here. Like Jong-woo said earlier, we sorted the feedback according to how frequently it came up. So we are showing you the raw feedback from our survey. Some mentioned that they don't want the game to rely too much on sexiness, and I know that it's a part of our game's identity, and of course we're not going to only solely rely on sexiness, but we're not going to let it go either. It doesn't mean that we are going to rely on sexiness only and not work on our story and not make our story complete enough. I think that's the main concern, but that's not going to happen. Just because we have this feedback doesn't mean that we are going to stay away from sexiness. So please don't worry.
Yeah, so from a designer point of view, we're not really relying on sexiness. I think that as we went by, I think that happened naturally. We're not going to be impacted that much, but if there are new, fresh ideas, then I think that's definitely going to be the thing that really matters. So we're not going to be too bold. So for like Darien, because there is this kind of stamp, there's this kind of signal.
Right. She took off the clothes because she was feeling hot, right?
So it does have a story.
Yes. She's not just taking off her clothes for no reason. She's taking it off because it's very hot and the temperature is high.
Yeah, it's something really natural. There's really like nothing, it was like irresistible, you know. So yeah, we're going to definitely rely on sexiness.
All right, moving on. We also got a lot of feedback on technical issues. Some players reported crashes on certain devices, long loading times, and other problems. They want these fixed, obviously, and especially improvements to the UI and controls in battles and character gear management. There were also strong opinions about how the dev team handles player feedback. Many praised us for listening and showing a will to improve, but some also warned that we shouldn't take in too much feedback to the point of losing the game's core identity. Players said devs should stick to their creative vision, especially for story and character design, and not be swayed too heavily by player opinions. It's good to hear the community, yes, but some worried that our team might confuse which feedback to act on.
편집이나 시스템 등에 관한 의견은
For things like convenience and systems, sure, players' input helps. But when it comes to the story or the world itself, that's the foundation of the game. So changing those too lightly made some players uneasy.
운영의 태도에 대해서 불안감을 느낀다. 이런 의견.
So this was some of the feedback that we got as part of the survey.
네. 그리고 이제 뭐 개선 사항 같은 것들도 이렇게 설문 주시는
Yes,
거
we
외에도
did
저희가
see
이제
a lot of
커뮤니티
opinions coming in through the survey, and we are definitely going to be looking into the feedback that comes from the community. We're definitely going to be reflecting them as much as possible.
다음 장면
All
내용
right.
보여주시죠. 네.
Let's move on.
기존 설문조사들 모두 이제 살펴봤고.
Okay, so we've gone through all of the survey results, and we're going to be using that feedback to decide on the future of the story. First, when it comes to romance, we are keeping all the ones that already exist, but we will try not to add any new ones. And for future story updates, we're considering toning down the romantic dialogue a bit. Next.
All right, next up, male characters. The existing ones will stay, of course, but new male characters will only appear in the story when absolutely necessary. They could show up as pickup characters, but even then, it will be kept to a bare minimum. And as of now, there are no plans to add any. All right, next is about fated guests. From the feedback, we saw that even if a character is from the main story or has romance elements in the story, as long as they are attractive, players still want to see them appear as fated guests. So going forward, we will allow more freedom to add them as fated guests. And I'm sure that you will meet Olivier as fated guest in the future.
다른 팬분들
Well, it's not going to be for origami, it's going to be for our fans. So it's not going to be my arms.
All right, moving on,
이제 다음으로 넘겨주세요.
please.
아, 여기까지구나. 아, 요거까지 말씀드리겠습니다.
Oh, we're actually done. Okay.
노트에서 말씀드린 것처럼
So moving on, as we mentioned in past streams and dev notes, some of the story packs are being prepared for a renewal.
연애 요소에 관련된
This survey had a lot of questions about romance between male and female characters, but aside from that, we are also taking your earlier feedback into account. So our focus will be on making the early parts more engaging right from the start and improving consistency in the later packs. That said, don't worry, we're not planning any drastic overhauls. We will keep the original flow and simply refine certain parts.
구조를 바꾸기보다는 필요에
So in other words, instead of changing the whole structure, we'll just adjust or remove a few scenes where it makes sense.
Okay, so we did take a quick look at the survey results. We also got a ton of questions specifically about the story. There were some that were handpicked because it was a hot topic in the community.
이번에는 현재 스토리를 만족스럽게 즐겨주시는
Yes, this time we wanted to hear from everyone, both those who enjoyed the current story and those who felt it was lacking still. So yes, the survey included some bold questions, but by focusing more on criticism, we may have made those who already love the story uneasy. For that, we sincerely apologize.
저 역시 이번 설문을
Personally, the survey also gave me a lot to think about. Going forward, we'll carefully review the wide range of feedback coming in from every region and reflect on it thoughtfully when making decisions.
시간을 내어서
And finally, a big thank you to everyone who took the time to participate in the survey.
네. 생각보다
Oh wow, we went through the content that we prepared for today really fast. So
그래서 오늘은 바로
that's it for what we prepared. So we are going to dive into the highlight of our show, the part we always spend the most time on, live Q&A.
앞서서 새로 업데이트될 내용들도 많았고
We had a lot of updates and we also went through survey feedback and our future directions regarding the story. So if you have any questions, please
저희가
shoot them in the comment section
분배를 해가지고
and we will
한국어 채널, 뭐 일본어 채널,
pick some from the Korean channel, from English channel, from
보고 저희가 질문들을 읽어보도록
Japanese channel as well.
방송 내용 준비한 거에서
And so from what we have prepared, I think that there was a lot of content, but I guess I was talking too fast. Time really flied, and then it took a really short time, shorter than I thought.
10월에 합니다.
So for collab, there's a question about collab. We're going to do it in October. It's confirmed.
네, 복각이고요.
It's going to be a rerun for the collab in October.
그 IP 홀더사와
However, we can't disclose what it is because
네, 좀 천천히 공개해달라는 요청이 있어서 아직은 공개해드릴 수가 없고요.
we need to wait a little bit more to disclose what the collab is going to be.
네, 제가 거의 그 수준으로 네. IP는 아직 공개가 안 되고
So
그래서 아마도 10월 초에
in early October, we'll be able to disclose the IP finally.
복각입니다.
It's going to be a rerun, as I said.
뭐 순서대로 하지 않을까 싶긴 합니다.
I think it's going to follow the order as a hint. I don't know.
추가 콘텐츠나 추가 캐릭터
And when it comes to like additional content or additional characters, there's actually going to be no additional new characters or content. It's going to be definitely a rerun of a previous event. And by looking into the community, I think that a lot of you have been mentioning about new collaborations, but there's going to be none. We're going to be preparing our own, and we are actually working very hard on it. So I just want to thank you and also apologize for those who have expected for a new collaboration. But for those who were asking for a rerun, I'd say that stay tuned.
갑자기 겁나는데 모른 척 해주시기 바랍니다. 네,
Ah.
너무 겁이 나요.
I'm a little scared, so please stop with your guesses. I didn't say anything. I didn't give you any hint. So please, guys, stop with your guesses.
Okay, so guys, think about the tear cut scenes. Think about her belly fat. No more guesses on the IP.
프레스티지 좀 빨리 내달라.
So next
이게 약간 또
feedback,
굉장히
next question. When is going the prestige skin is going to be released?
다 전에 말씀드린 계획대로 가는 거죠.
Well, it's a sensitive topic, but we're going to follow the plan that we shared before.
2년에 2.5주년에 12월에 하나, 1월에 하나.
So for the 2.5th anniversary, one in December and one in January, we're preparing for two, as we shared before.
되지는 않을 것 같고
I don't think we can
현재까지 정책은 그런
make it any sooner, so that's the current plan.
온라인 샵 오픈 일정.
Okay, online shop opening. So I know that a lot of you are interested and asking us when the date is going to be about. But I think that it will differ based on region.
전체적으로
At first, what we thought was that it should be in August, but there has been a delay. It's being later than expected, and in Korea,
목표로 하고 있고
we are thinking about September, and for other regions, probably
목표로 하고 있다고
October. So this is our target date.
일본 같은 경우는
For Japan,
일부 샵에서 좀
for some
샵들이, 온라인
shops,
샵들이 나눠져서
you know that there are
각각의
divided online
굿즈들을
shops,
판매하고 있고
and they
그런
are
상황입니다.
currently
그래서
selling their own merchandises, which is why
10월 정도에는
about October, maybe we can release them.
저희가 처음 하다 보니까
And because this is our first time,
어려운 점들이 있긴
there are
하지만
definitely some
저희가
challenges,
이제 직접 할 수는 직접
but
하기
we can
너무
do it
어려워서
ourselves.
파트너사와 같이
So we are
협의하고
currently
있는데
collaborating with our partnering
파트너사들에서도
company,
굉장히 의욕을
and the
보여주고
partners
계시기
are
때문에
also showing great
그런 것들이 잘
willpower.
찾아가면은
They're very passionate about it, which
10월
is
정도에는
why
할수 있지
we
않을까
think
그렇게
that
생각을 하고
around
있습니다.
October you'll able to see it yourselves. Yeah, it's going to be really fun if it's an offline event.
오프라인 행사 일정. 오프라인 행사
Okay,
일정은
so
이제
when is
9월에
it going to be the opening of the offline event?
교토에서
In Kyoto, as I've
교토
mentioned,
국제 망가 애니메
there
페어가
is an
이제 하나
international
있고,
manga
하나
fair,
있고,
KMAO,
이제 9월 말에
and at the end of
Game
September we have
Show.
Tokyo
저희가
Game
작게
Show, and
나가서 이제 좀
we're going
재밌는
to
것들
be
하려고 하고,
participating.
그다음에
There's going to be a lot of
그다음에는
fun
이제 아마
events.
2.5주년을
And I think
기념하기 위한
that in
행사들로
order
진행이
for
될
our 2.5th anniversary, there's definitely going to be an event. And there's also a lot of asks related to franchise
준비를
collaborations.
하고는 있는데
Yeah, we are currently preparing for that.
그 조금 네, 어른들의
But
사정에서 조금
there
어려운
were
것들이
some
있고요.
conditions, some situations from our end.
생각보다는 네, 곤란해하시는 분들이 많아가지고
And there were a lot
네,
of
약간 조금
people
어렵긴
who
한데
thought that it was
열심히
trouble,
협의하고
so
있고,
we're
그
currently discussing on the matter.
일단 대만에서는
For Taiwan, in November, we should be able to do one.
나머지 지역들에서도
And in the rest of the regions, we are also looking for partners.
이제 막 내년에 하자. 약간 이렇게 협의된
We
것들이
have some
있어가지고
potential opportunity, but they want to do it next year, so it's still very early and premature for us to share the
같이
details
하시는
today.
분들도 이렇게 좀
Even for collab partners,
사람 많이 모일 때 많이
they
하려고
want to do it when a lot of people gather for such as like our anniversary, but our anniversaries are summers and winter, but summers and winters are the high seasons for all the other companies. Timing wise, it's unfortunate.
먼저 연락 주셔갖고
Yeah, I can't really disclose the name, but there is a potential partner company who contacted us first, and we were really surprised to see them. But, you know, like our game is 18 plus, so we were worried whether if we can actually do a collab with them. But they did call us again. They contacted us to see whether if there could be a potential collaboration.
돈가스는 연락을 드렸는데 회신이 없으셔가지고
And for Tonkatsu, I contacted them, but they didn't reply to us. If
연락 주세요.
the team at Tonkatsu is watching our show, please reach out to us. We're waiting for you to reply.
근데 저도 그래도 뭐 멀쩡한 건데.
Yeah, but I think that if it's going to be like a normal one, maybe it's okay. But I think that I don't really remember when it was, but I guess that I was trying to find something with less sexiness, less nudity, but I couldn't find one.
이렇게 가방을 메고 네브리스 같은 경우는 가방을 이렇게 메고 있잖아요.
For Nebris, she's wearing a bag and there's no
이렇게 가방을 매잖아요. 그런 것도 안 된다.
exposure, but then her bag
곤란하다.
was actually in between her breasts, and that's not allowed apparently for some companies.
많이 찾는 매장인데
And also in peak seasons, we have offline shops where families visit a lot, and then if Browndust2 collaboration goes on in those offline shops targeting families, then it could be trouble. So
적을 때 하자. 뭐 약간 이런
maybe some companies suggested maybe doing offline collaboration during off-peak seasons when families don't visit a lot.
Yeah. So can you please zoom into the global chat channel? We can't really see what they're chatting or commenting. So I want you to zoom in. We want to see what kind of questions are coming in through our Korean channel and global channel.
하기 위해서
So
이현수님 사오자
fated guests, interaction, prestige skin,
제일 궁금해하실 것 같아요.
sales.
싶어서 일단 단품 판매에 대해서
So when it comes to the
계획은 없습니다. 이 부분에 대해서 저희 내부에서도
sale of prestige skins,
일단은 아직까지
it's not planned yet. So unfortunately, we don't have a plan to sell prestige skins on its own.
상호작용 음성에 대해서는
When it comes to interaction voice,
말씀드릴 수 있는 부분은 저희가
what I can say for now is that
분들에 대해서는 상호작용 음성을 지원을 하고
for Korean voice actors, we had interaction, but then this time around, unfortunately, we couldn't support that.
상호작용 음성도
But in the future, we
그런
plan to include
작업을 해보려고 그렇게
voice for interaction. We're in the process of searching for available voice actors.
같은 경우 실비아 이번에
For Sylvia's costume, the bikini costume,
그 성우분만 다른 성우분이 녹음을 한다든지 하는 부분까지도
that voice actor can potentially be replaced by another voice actor in the future. So that's
최선을 다해서
one of the strategies that we're looking for. So we'll keep looking and thinking of alternatives.
사실은 성우분들 쪽에는 아무런 규칙 사유가 없어요. 저희가
Voice actors actually don't have
데이트했었던
anything to blame.
하고 이후에
It's due to our updated
하다 보니까
policy and also our content
변경한 거기 때문에
uh, going up in rating. So it's due to the internal changes in our policy and direction. So there's nothing to blame on the voice actors,
해볼 수 있도록
but
노력을 해보고 있으니까
we are looking for alternatives to find a way to bring back voice and interaction. So once things are confirmed, I will share with you.
그 채팅창 위로 올려주실래요?
Okay, so can you scroll up the chat? Okay, so I want to actually sing the song, the background music of Browndust2. Can I do that?
하시면 부를 수 있죠.
Well, you can, if you're a good singer.
또 노래를 부르겠습니다.
I don't really know what you're referring to,
저걸
but
한번
anyhow, yeah,
알아보도록
we will
하겠습니다.
try and look whether if it's
쉽지는
possible.
않은데
I don't think that it's going to be easy, but we'll see whether if we can allow you to sing the songs of Browndust2 from the karaoke's. And you can also probably see the skill cutscenes from.
Do you think that's possible?
No, I don't really think so.
I don't think that will be allowed.
사실 그 게임은 계속 이렇게 나오고 그 노래가 나오지 않을까.
저 배속
Oh, regarding the speed, play speed. So the battle speed, more than 3 times. We are reviewing that.
지난번에 이제 보여드렸었던 PVP 컨텐츠 있잖아요.
So
그때
the
진행하면서
PvP content that we shared before, as we have more people joining, one battle can take you a long time. So with that, with more people joining, more players joining, we can think of making the gameplay speed faster.
미니게임이 너무
Yeah,
어렵다라고
so you're saying that the mini games are a bit difficult to play. I do resonate with you, so I agree. And while doing the mini games, while doing it on PC, I thought that it was really hard to play, which is why at first,
기본 보상을
for the basic rewards
레벨에 한해서는 훨씬
and for those levels, I think that the difficulty is going to be lesser, but at first I know that it was really hard to play, and the mini game that has been updated after 2 weeks, it was less difficult to play. So
하는 게 없어져서
there's going to be no slide from left to right, which is why I think that the updates were really good. So for those like basic difficulty levels, I think that everyone will be able to enjoy because it's going to be less difficult to play.
There's a lot of sound coming up.
Yeah, maybe it's because
From
of the
the ceiling?
construction. What's happening in the basement?
종원준 씨가
Is it Jongwon?
I
Jongwon
think that he's,
punching the
like, punching
ceiling
the
and
ceilings the
walls
floors.
because he's so upset with his story.
Uh-huh.
조원님이
Okay, so it could be Chongwon. We don't really know. Maybe we can give him fried dumplings.
소리가 잡혔는지 모르겠는데 갑자기 후궁했어요.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it, but there was this sound, like really
짧은
loud
버전의
and
컷신을
noisy
추가해 주실 수
sound.
있나요? 설정에서
Oh, so the next question is, can you add shorter cutscenes?
엉덩이 게임에서처럼 짧은 버전 컷신을 말씀하시는 것 같아요.
So I think you're referring to shorter cutscenes from the butt game. Nothing is planned yet, unfortunately.
한번 고민은 해볼게요.
If a lot of people want shorter cutscenes, yes, we can review that.
그거를
Yeah, but I
But there's
think
going to
that,
be a lot of resources that are going in to that.
만드는 게 더 낫지 않을까.
Maybe like making it shorter is harder than creating a new one.
프레스티지는 복각이 되냐?
okay, so can we rerun premiums? And when it comes to these rerun policies, I think that
그 현재는 좀
at present, we can't really say anything for sure because we don't have a clear plan, but I think that there is a higher possibility for a rerun.
보스 외형 분위기 등의 개선 의지.
Any change to the appearance, external appearance or vibe of the boss?
Yeah, I think that there were some demands from our fans, especially for fiend
Like-
hunters.
What type of boss are you referring to, like Fiend Hunter or different types of boss? Depending on that, we can answer the question. Any plan to expand the card game to the home
스티커를 막 이렇게
page?
붙이는
So
하나는 스킬 컷신에다가 움직이는 스킬 컷신 위에다가 놓기에
adding stickers to moving cutscenes, that will be awkward. I think
스탠딩 일러스트 뒤에
when it comes to home page, maybe there's a background to standing illustration. That's one way of decorating it.
아직 스티커를 붙인다든지 하는
Adding stickers, that's not part of our plan.
새 2년 손님은
Okay, what about new faded guests? So before the 2.5th, I think that there is going to be another round of updates. I think that I've mentioned this before. Then what about like the mini games? for Japan.
저 중에 하나가 핀볼 걸스팬인
Yeah, one is pinball. Can you actually refer to the game names? Like Dance Panic? I'm not really sure about pinball. Is that something that we can refer to? Well, I'm not really sure. I can't really disclose what the name of the game is, but there's definitely going to be some updates. So yeah, maybe you can try it out, but I'm really afraid, nervous of what the feedback will be.
Real-time arena. We don't have a plan for real-time for arena, unfortunately. About Bunny Girl update for 2.5th anniversary. Oh, that's a very good question. Bunny Girl is actually on our top priority list for costumes, so you will probably see them in the future.
피규어 내주세요라는
Figures.
피규어는 생각보다 많은 것들이
People
지금
want
준비
figures,
중이고
but well, actually, we are preparing them. At the end of
제작자
September,
측을 통해서 이제 공개될 공식 협업 피규어가 있고요.
we will have some official collaboration figures coming up.
공개하려고 하는 피규어들이 지금 줄지어서 기다리고 있습니다.
We have a list of figures down the road, like as part of our plan.
Yeah, we have some asks about deco coins, whether if we can add more. For this content, we are going to be targeting the 2.5th anniversary so that we can provide you with more deco coins. This is actually our target, but we still have a long time until the 2.5th anniversary. So we are thinking about some events that we can provide you with more deco coins.
So regarding the appearance of the boss, I just checked the feedback. So well noted. I'll definitely keep that in mind next time that I design it.
Okay, so there are some people who actually want to pay for the deco coins. Yeah, maybe Chongo, because you are the PD, you're the director for the business. I think that really stood out.
그래서 이제 연결되는 질문인 것 같습니다.
Yeah, I think that these questions are linked together. That's why it really caught my eyes. But I think that it's really difficult for us to actually sell those deco coins.
Yes. Deco coin was actually not BM, but then I'm very cautious to say because it might change in the future. I mean, deco coin was not for sale, was not intended for sale. But if a lot of people want, then we can consider selling it at a small price. But for now, we don't have a plan to sell it.
프로필 스티커에
Profile stickers without like SDK characters, there should be LD characters. So in the profile sticker, can we add illustrations?
약간 질문이 조금
Yeah, we can. Well, it can be displayed for stickers, but I think that you're asking about the background. So
못하는 부분이 있는데 그냥
we can't really overlap.
이렇다라는
I think that what you're asking is whether if we can add more illustrations. For that, we are going to be making some updates.
쌍둥이 캐릭터 추가 계획이 있느냐?
Twin characters. Any plan for twin characters? Sonia and Tanya. They're kind of twins, right?
오늘따라 뭔가
I think that the questions that are asked today
다 되게 다양하게
are
있어서
various. There's really not like a single type of like category that you're asking.
뭐 제일 예민할 수 있을
So
만한
there
질문을
could be
드리고 싶은데
like interesting questions, some sensitive questions, which I really want to first go
Are you saying that these
over.
questions are not interesting?
Well, they are. I do like all of the questions, but I just wanted to answer the questions that are asked by many. So whenever you're asking about the updates, new additions, I know that every single time those questions come in, we answer them, but I think that you're really interested in the additions.
So for G-Star, unfortunately, we're not participating this time, but we are participating in the event in December.
정확한 내용은 별도의 공지를 통해서 드리도록
More details coming up in announcements.
어렵게 만드실 계획이
Okay, so are you going to be making the monsters more difficult to tackle? Well, if you look at the recent chapters, the the monsters are really quite hard to battle. So, oh, I think that what you're saying is that it should be less difficult to battle.
저희가
Okay, now for the bosses, if you look into the Korean communities, I think that,
클리어할 수 있다. 뭐 약간 이런 식으로
well, you can't really clear the low levels,
외에 다른
but for other regions, the community feedback is that it's not like a given to clear 10 level. So for those from the global community and like for the Korean community, you might think that this is a given, but it's not really that easy. So when it comes to like the difficulty level of battling and clearing level 10, we are going to be reconsidering.
지금에서 굉장히 많이 낮아질 거라고 생각이 들지는
And I don't think that the level of difficulty is going to go down more than what we have today.
블리치
For
얘기하면 안 돼.
Oh,
oh,
oh, we
Bleach?
shouldn't have been, referring to Bleach. Oh my God, did you just disclose?
I mean, it's
our
a famous
secret?
animation, so no problem mentioning it, right?
블리땡하고의 콜라보를 원하시는
So
네, 질문이 많은데
a lot of people are asking about collaboration with
개인적으로 굉장히
Bleach.
좋아합니다. 네.
I mean, I personally love Bleach.
It's a fantastic manga. But what should we be doing? How should we be collaborating is the question.
IP는 멋있게 나오고
I mean, IP will be fantastic.
나와가지고
We will have some celebratory costumes for Browndust2, maybe. I mean, a possibility.
Oh, I keep on saying Bleach. I'm like, oh.
블리땡의 그 감성을 굉장히 좋아하거든요.
Yeah, I really love that sentiment, that kind of vibe you can see from Bleach. That's why I think I keep on mentioning Bleach.
I like Bleach too, but we need to think about our fans and what they like, right?
Yeah, so I'm also watching the second series of blah blah. Yeah.
Yes, that's why you created Nebreeze, right? You got inspiration from
Yeah,
that.
I did.
확실히 저런 콜라보는
Yeah, so when it comes to these collaborations, I think that the idea that we think or we come up with is based on the animations that we've really enjoyed. There's one of an animation that I've recently watched. It was super
남자
nice.
캐릭터의 고점을
And there
살려서
was like a male character and he was goat.
근데 이제
He was the best. It's not Bleach, right? No, it's not Bleach. So can you please give us a hint? Can you give us like the first letter or something?
아니 그쵸 무한 땡땡
Yeah, it's Muhan blah blah.
땡땡에서 네 그걸 이제 봤어요. 이제 봤는데 네.
Yeah. So I was a late watcher, but I really liked it.
Well, guys, we shouldn't spend too much time on collaboration questions because there's no plan for new collaboration this year. So
Oh.
윤우님과
Yeah, if we keep on talking about animations, then all of the questions are going to be based on animation. So everybody's going to be focusing.
So sorry, I
concentrating on
should have
those
mentioned it.
animations. So yeah, we shouldn't be mentioning them at all. So if you keep on bringing up these questions about collaborations on the community channel, then we will definitely monitor them and also consider future collaborations.
every time we get a lot of requests regarding Yuri, let me think about it. I don't want to give a spoiler. How do I navigate this? Your favorite costume, your favorite character, it's all about timing. It all boils down to timing. Well, you might see them eventually. Just keep on waiting.
계획이 있느냐? 네, 뭐 이 질문도 여러 번 받았었지만
Yeah, we did get these kind of questions a lot, especially about the popular characters in Browndust1, whether if we are going to be showing them in Browndust2. But, you know, in the Browndust2 story, we are going to be showing them first and then building up the story. And I think that's when we can disclose the characters. I think that some of Browndust1 characters might be showing up next year.
마이름 가구 추가에 대해서
My room furniture edition, there was one question about it. So yes, we have a plan to add furniture to my room.
특정 캐릭터 이름이 많이 나오고
Yeah, we can see some characters, like specific characters. If you look at the global channel, they're still talking about the mangas and animations. Don't you have any other questions, guys? Are we going to be talking about animations? Should we? Yeah, I'm actually watching a lot myself these days.
프레스티지 스킨을 매달 내달라.
Can we get prestige skins every month?
Oh,
Wow, guys,
nah,
I'm
that's
so
not
sorry.
gonna
That's not
happen.
possible. Even if you wanted to, we can't do it.
죽어요.
The animation team, the animators will quit. They
They're
might
gonna die,
be. Yes,
probably.
they will probably join Jongwon in the basement.
그쵸.
Yeah, it is huge.
이번에 또 커뮤니티에서
I think that quite recently I've read questions about the prestige skin on community. I think that you said, or some of you said that it was lacking a bit,
테레제만 볼 때는
especially for
좋았는데
Theresier.
이게 이제
So it was good,
실비아가 너무
but
강력하잖아요.
Sylvia was really strong, which is why it felt comparatively weak.
이런
So maybe we should be adding more prestige skins.
그쵸.
Yes, we did talk about it internally.
위로 인플레이션 되는 거에 대해서는 그거는 그냥 즐겁게 즐겨주시면 좋겠어요.
For anything that goes above and beyond your expectation, please just enjoy.
하향
But when it comes to the bottom line of the quality, we're going to make sure that we meet a certain level of quality. We meet certain, like a bar, there's a bar for quality. But sometimes it might go above and beyond your expectation. And in that case, please just enjoy. It could be an animation,
분들이 둘이서 엄청 작당 모의를 하면서 온갖
origami, and the team come up with a lot of ideas and designs. And sometimes they get really greedy and add a lot that leads to higher rating and more content, and we don't have a ceiling to how much it should be done. So we have a bottom line, definitely a bar for minimum bar for quality, but we don't put ceiling on it. That's why sometimes the ceiling is really high when it comes to quality. But in our opinion, as long as it's constantly above the minimum bar, it's all good.
스킨이나 인연손님이 상호작용
For next prestige skins and fated guests, when let's say that when they come up in twice the content, the regular content, it might not mean that the next one
즐겨주시면 좋겠고
can be like that.
하지만 이제 기존에 있었던 그 상호작용 퀄리티 이하로 내려가지는 않고
We will continue to protect the minimum quality bar, but sometimes we can go overboard in terms of our quality or content.
이번에 타이밍이 조금 출시
Yeah, I
타이밍이
think
비슷했던
it's
걸로
because of the timing we
앞으로도
did
그럴
release
것 같기는 합니다.
in
주년에 맞춰서 저희가 이제
the similar periods. I think that when a lot of our fans come back, there will be new fated guests, there will be more prestiges. But if there are more actions, and conversely, for fated guests, if the number of interactions are less than expected, then I guess that for those who haven't been able to purchase the prestige, we'll say that you're not putting in too much effort for the quality of interactions. But I think that what Chuni said is right. It is the answer. So if you give us more encouragement, then our animators and the team will be more passionate about the prestiges and also the interactions. And it's not that it's intentional, because we're going to be going with the skin concepts. So maybe there could be some differences in the number of skins, but there's really no intention to lower down the quality.
Really looking forward to the IR data in the third quarter. Oh, that's a very professional question. If you are a shareholder, thank you for that question. Please look forward to it.
실용적인 제품 나올 수 있을까요?
Okay, so can there be a practical merchandiser?
네, 저희가
Maybe like a
공략
diffuser, or I don't know. We're going to think about it.
굿즈가 이게 저희가
When
이제
it comes to
크게
merch,
주년 단위, 그러니까 주년 단위로 하거든요.
we
주년
have
단위로
anniversary merch. We have 0.5 anniversary, 1 year anniversary.
어떻게 보면 좀 약간 기본이 되는 그 구성들이 좀 있거든요.
And when it comes to merch, we have basic setups. For example, acrylic stand, key rings,
키링, 캠 배지,
cam badges,
뭐 이런 것들이 있고 있고 근데 이제 계절에 따라서 이제
cushions,
티셔츠라든지
depending on the weather, sometimes
야구
t-shirt
잠바 뭐 이런 것들 추가되는데
and baseball
개수가
jackets.
늘어나고 그렇게 될
But
때마다
as
사실
we
조금
add
퀄리티
more
컨트롤이라든지
numbers or more
이런 것들은
items,
조금 이제 문제가 될 수
quality
있기
control
때문에
it
정도
becomes an
조금씩
issue.
조절해가면서 하고 있거든요.
So we
그래서
have to
한 번에
balance
다 많은
out.
것들이 나오지 않더라도 좀 이해해 주시면 좋을 것
So
같습니다.
even if you don't see a lot of things at once for merch, please understand.
Yeah, there's going to be a feature to copy my room. We are reviewing the possibility of a new introduction. And it seems that you are asking the same question over and over again. So if there are like any questions that keep popping up, we're going to be definitely gathering them in order to answer to your questions. So if you keep on copying the same questions, then we keep our eyes on only those questions, then other questions might be lost. So please refrain from asking the same question over and over again or copying the same question. Yeah, you keep on seeing those questions.
So one of the repeatedly asked questions is that is there gonna be like double interaction for faded guests?
읽는 게 더 과감한 거 아니에요?
글로벌 마인드신데요.
That's very bold, actually.
Global mindset.
이벤트성으로 근데
Well, adding more than 2 characters as faded guests. Well, I mean, it's a creative idea, but can we really handle it?
I'm not sure. So yeah, if that's the case, then there could be like less actions. There could be less, but I can't really do everything at once. Maybe it could be a one-day event.
가격도
베일라랑 인연소님 하긴 좀 어렵지 않을까요?
Bella may be hard to add her as faded guests.
질문이 있으신데
There, I saw a question about adding Bella as a faded guest.
은근 괜찮은데
내가 상호작용으로 메시지 찍고 상호작용한 캐릭터를 베일라의 방에 초대한다.
Maybe like adding a faded guest's character to Bella's room, and
베일라는 이제
단어 선택 조심하십시오.
그렇죠. 감정을 받아야 돼.
because Bella needs to be evaluated, right? So
미연시에서 공략이 불가능한 캐릭터를 공략하는 게 사실
Yeah, there are some characters that we can't target that well or that much. I think that there are a lot of fans who are expecting that, but when it comes to like normal faded guests, well, I don't think that they're going to be a faded guest. Maybe it's going to be a one-time event. There's nothing in plan, but yeah, we're thinking about it.
아직 안 나왔잖아요. 네, 그래서 다른 팬분들의 애인들이 다 나오고 순차적으로 좀
Okay, so if you wait, then I think that maybe we can try out. Maybe when it comes to like Eleanor or other characters like Bella, maybe they are attractive more because they're not a faded guest.
역시 엘리노아에게도 또 해주시죠.
yes, and we do see comments regarding Eleanor, of course. Luffy, is it? What is it?
레프테아 말씀하시는 거
Laffitia?
레프트 인기 많다.
Oh, Laffitia
그쪽에
is very popular.
Mm-hmm. She has a lot of fans.
아이돌 컨셉 내자라는
Idol
질문인데
concept. We have a question regarding idol concept.
캐릭땡 때문에
캐딩땡 때문에
Maybe it's because of K-pop, blah blah. Maybe we can try them out, but not really sure. We don't really have anything planned out.
뭐라 해야 되지? 제가 한번 생각을 해봤거든요.
I did think about it.
스타일리시한 어떤
Maybe we
아이돌
can come
스타일로
up with a very stylish idol type cutscene, but really, what can we do? It's really something that we need to think about. I did, but I don't really know what the results are going to be like.
그라나데 고려하고 있습니다.
Granade, definitely thinking about it.
이번 소냐도
So
사실
Sonia as well.
뒤에 이제 세 명의 누님들이 나와서
Behind Sonia, there are 3 other girls.
귀엽게 봐주신 것 같아요. 만약에 소냐가 나왔으면
If there were 3 Sonyas, then maybe there was a lot of call for sexy characters, but there were like 3 other normal characters and then Sonya. That's why people like the Sonya. So it definitely boils down to the proportion. So depending on the proportion, we can add characters like that once in a while.
인연 스토리 후속편을 더 보고 싶어요.
Okay, so I think that I did get this question before, but you said that you wanted a follow-up story for Faded Guest.
검토를 하고 있고요.
Yeah, we are definitely reviewing them.
제가 약간 반협박조로
And I did say, half threatening, whether if you want new Faded Guests or if you want existing Faded Guests and their follow-up story. I've asked this question, and I think that this is definitely what we need to work on. Maybe we can have a 2-track approach. So maybe we can come up with a follow-up story of the existing Faded Guests and also come up with new Faded Guests.
일본 쪽에서
Yeah, we have some questions from Japan
들의 소녀 상호작용에 대한
about girl interaction.
토론되고 있습니다.
I think that's one of the common questions, but yeah, for diversity's sake.
다양하다가 저희 게임이 날아가는 시간.
Yes, diversity is good, but it can completely destroy our game. We can disappear.
상호작용 추가는 어렵겠느냐라고
So,
Yeah.
and then there's another question regarding adding a Japanese voice for interaction.
추가로 고려를
We are unfortunately not planning it for now, but for interaction or other content per character, there's Korean voice actor and Japanese voice actor. We are thinking of maybe switching back and forth between Korean and Japanese, depending on what your default language is. Even if it's, say, Korean, for certain characters and certain systems, you can change to Japanese, for example. So we are thinking of that system improvement.
캐릭터 팩 더 추가하실 계획이
Do you have any plans to add more character packs?
내년에는
Yes. For this year,
원래 이제 요번 업데이트 때 스토리팩
and for this update, we thought about updating the story pack, but in order to increase the quality,
하반기 쪽으로 미뤘다는
we
말씀을 드렸었잖아요.
said that we're going to be pushing it back to the second half of this year. And for the 2.5th anniversary, we have another story pack update coming up. And let's take a look at the portion for next year. So the event packs and the story packs are going to be more targeted for next year.
In global community, they want more mommy muscular characters.
아, 굳이 올릴 필요 없어요.
I mean, it's just something that I caught. It's not an official question. No need to add it to the official list.
Okay, so let's look at the survey results. So it seems that a lot of players say that they want the romance story between the male and female characters. But I want to ask you why you decided to remove the romance dialogue. Well, it's not going to be all of the romance stories. We're not going to be deleting them all at once or all together. It's just going to be some content, some element of the romance part. They're going to be tweaked, and especially for those like dialogue and lines that you feel that are a bit cheesy, we're definitely going to be changing them a bit, but we're not going to be deleting them entirely.
그리고 뭐 매납, 건너뛰
And also
타겟 지정의 베리에이션이 더 있었으면
skips and
이게 처음
those features, they want some targets,
지정을
targeting.
하고 이제 전투를 하게 되는
For a new user,
실 수도 있잖아요.
you might be familiar with setting a target and doing a battle, but
타겟이 맨 앞이냐 건너팀이냐.
so
맨 뒤도 있었고 그랬었는데
in the previous title we had like
기존에
the last one, but maybe like the most front one and also skipping it.
현재 룰로 만들어져 있는 많은 것들을 좀
that's actually the core identity of Browndust2. So we are going to stick to the current rules
걸려 있는 게 맞나 봐.
because that's actually tied to other features. And if you want to change the rules, then it's going to lead to a lot of more changes.
것 같아요. 사실 뭐 저희 오픈 스펙 때
In
얘기긴 한데
open spec,
맨디는 일단 쟁여두자. 맨 앞이랑 건너뛰므로 서비스를
so the one at the very back that
있지만 일단은
can be saved for the future. It's what we decided. So that's why we just wanted to go with the most front one and skipping a feature. But we don't have a plan for the one at the very back for now.
생각이 있냐는
Okay, so are you going to be adding more like mini games,
아까 이제
like what we have done through the live streams? Yeah, maybe like what we've done for Thanksgiving. Maybe we can utilize the illustrations for our mini games because we have a very strong front on the illustrations. Yeah, but it's not going to be that interesting if it's going to be blend. So maybe we can put more impact. So yeah, since you've mentioned, I think that you're going to be adding more content on the illustration. And yeah, probably I'm going to be backing out.
픽업무비 페이백
Pick up weapon payback. What's the criteria? I think it's before the updates, right? I think that's the most reasonable
데이터 정리하고
criteria.
좀 있어가지고
We need some time for data organization, so that needs a separate announcement. So please wait for that.
Yeah, everybody's starting to cry from the Japanese channel. Why so?
아,
Why is everybody so touched all of a sudden?
For
저번에
each
채팅창에
channel,
저희가 자동 번역을 써서 보고 있어가지고
we're looking at
번역 이슈.
we're actually auto translating each language channel. So I think there's maybe some issue with auto translation because
감동적이야, 감동적.
Yeah, everybody's like saying that they're touched, they're crying.
그래서
Why so?
아니 이게 그렇게 감동적일
Well, I didn't know that it was so touching that this concept. They keep on crying.
대머리 캐릭터 추가해 주세요가 있어.
so I think that there was also a comment about adding a bald character. Not going to happen at all. Never.
같은 캐릭터의 다른 코스튬에 다른 인형.
When it
Other
comes
costumes, other faded guests for the same character. Is that a possible option?
오피스 때문에 있으면 생본 이거 아닌가?
Oh, maybe like there could be different costumes for office and swimsuits. Well, maybe you can say that we're going to be leaned on a certain character because for Teresia there are two different interactions. As mentioned before,
프레스티 스킨의 첫 번째 후보였기 때문에
she was the first candidate for the prestige skin,
테레제 무조건
which is
테레제를
why
따로
when it comes to like really
시작이
small bikinis, Teresia is definitely the icon, the iconic character, which is why she has two different skins. So we're not going to be adding new interactions, but for existing characters with interactions, we're not going to be considering them, but we're going to be considering prestige skins or faded guests for those characters without any interactions.
스팀펑크 스토리 팩에 추가.
What about steampunk story pack?
어떻게 보면 이번 길드레이드 그 배경 컨셉이나
the background concept of the guild raid and the character concept, it's more on the steampunk side if you look at it. Within the story pack,
컨셉의 스팀펑크라면
if it's the kind of steampunk that we can allow within our story pack, then of course. For example, there's a Lancelot in Guild Raid in the background, and then
세계관 내에서
him fighting.
까지는
That's
소화가능한 거라고 생각을 했어.
I think that's allowed in our fantasy, but we can't go full on sci-fi. So that kind of level extent we can allow.
타이밍.
Yeah, everything is about timing.
약간
기다리면 나와.
Yeah, so when you wait, then it's going to happen.
그렇게 말씀하시면 되게 내가
죄송합니다.
무지성
차원문으로 욕을 했고 어떻게 차원문이라고 하세요라고 그거를 욕처럼 받아들이는 게.
그러면 안 되니까.
Yeah, you shouldn't be really against the idea. I mean, he had goodwill.
뭐 그러니까 이걸 방패 삼는 건
So
아니고
I'm not saying that I'm trying to defend myself, but there are definitely concepts that we need to consider, and based on those concepts, we come up with the plans. So we cannot say that, oh, this is the concept, come up with a new concept or idea or plan. That's not going to happen because it can't. So it's really beyond my skills.
vs9에 대해서 말씀 주신 분이 계셔서
So 9 versus 9,
개발 검토는 아니고
that's
기획 진행하고 있고요.
under planning,
들어갈 것 같고 하반기 내에
that's under development. We should be able to release it in the second half of this year.
밀치기와 버프가 합쳐진 스킬
Push and buff combined together, can that be added as a new skill? J2 needs to review that, so we'll relay the feedback to him.
메가 패키지 못산
For Mega Package, for those who missed on Mega Package, can we release it one more time?
재판매는
Resale, re-release of Mega Package, unfortunately, is not going to happen for some time because the Mega Package had a very clear goal.
좀 있을 순 있지만
I know that some of you missed on it, unfortunately, but if we
그런 경우
release it again,
그런 케이스가
there will be
있을 수
people who buy it over and over again.
명확했기 때문에
So we had a clear goal of releasing it back then.
단계로 시작해도 충분히 게임을 즐기실 수 있게
So even if you start from zero, we wanted to support you to enjoy the game. That was the clear goal of the Mega Pack.
못 산 분들께만
So
이건 조금 약간 어려울 것 같습니다.
it's hard to release it again for those who missed on it.
Yeah, I think that there are some questions about the system improvements for the refinement dust. What is this about? So I think that they're asking about whether if there are any content in order to collect the refinement dust. Yeah, I remember there was a question about it. So I think that it is a hassle for users to collect the refinement dust by making equipment. So I think that with the same price, maybe they want the refinement dust directly, or yeah. So when creating the auto system, I put a lot of thought into it. You're right. So you can actually transfer the refinement dust, but if that's the case, then nothing really matters. So I want it to be really convenient for our users. We want it to be automatic. We thought that it's going to be using more of our resources, but we thought that this was more enjoyable and playable. For Tia, you've mentioned that why isn't she a fated guest? You might be questioning, but my thought was that for those characters who are in the main story, they're not going to be in the fated guest. This was our direction overall. But I think that in the future, maybe it would be possible, but we're going to be not considering about adding them to fated guests because they already have interactions. And yeah, maybe like other characters, they can come out first. And by thinking about these questions, I think that Tia, maybe she's going to be falling down. She has been sticking to a certain vibe, but maybe that vibe is going to disappear.
Really looking forward to Olivia and the chance to release her as fated guest. And also, we have questions regarding the plan to release on Steam. We do have a plan for Steam release. But in order to release it on Steam, we have to do a few things development-wise. It can't happen overnight. So we do have a timeline for that development, and once we have more details, we will let you know. And some of you, I know that worry about Steam release, and
이게 생각보다
The reason why we are planning for Steam
스팀에도 많은
release
유저분들이 계시고
is because we have a lot of users and fans on
모바일이나
Steam, on the Steam platform.
모바일로는 잘 안 하시는데 이제 스팀으로 하면 하시는 분들이 또 계시고
And
스팀이
there's also a community who doesn't play mobile games but only play on Steam. And some regions in the world where Steam is the dominant platform in gameplay. That's why we wanted to give access to our game on Steam.
지금처럼 못하는 거
And
아니냐.
people worry about
많은
maybe
우려들이
losing
있으셨는데
some
사실
ratings, maybe the rating of the content on Steam.
훨씬 더 그 수위 높은 게임들이 많이
But
있거든요.
if you know about Steam, we have actually a more explicit games on Steam
당연히 다른 게임들이 또 많이 있기
out
때문에
there. So
그런 부분은 걱정 안 하셔도 될 것 같습니다.
don't worry
그래서
about
저희는
losing
저희 스타일에
that
대해서의 어떤
identity. So we can
스팀은 더 많은 팬분들을 만나 뵙기
continue
위한
to help you get your dopamine. But Steam release is for the purpose of reaching a wider audience. So
Yeah, I want to ask you a personal question. This is the official channel, but for Olivia interaction, I think that there was a question whether if
올리비아를 다른 손님으로 만났을 때
we meet Olivia as a fated guest, what kind of story we can think about.
이걸 뭐라 정말로
But
홈지에 있는 만화들이야.
when we look at some mangas that are less mainstream,
일반적인
which are more minor,
그 이런 영상물에서
I think
유스티가
that
나오는 게 과연
I think
몰입이
that
괜찮을까라는 생각이
would it
좀
be
들긴
okay
하는데
for us to see
올리비아랑
Yustia?
올리비아가 알겠어 어떤
Because
사람인지는
we
아는데
know who Olivia
유스티가
is.
진짜로 나와도
But
되나?
can Yustia become a fated guest? Shouldn't she be on this side? Shouldn't she be less mentioned? This was actually one of my concerns.
그런 쪽에 좀 조심하는 게
But
있습니다. 그래서
because we are super cautious, I just wanted to know what you guys think, whether if it's okay and allowed. Yeah, there were a lot of ideas going back and forth. People kept on exchanging ideas internally.
why are we having this meeting here?
Well, because this is not like this is like a place where we can talk about those things.
Well, please share your feedback regarding Origami's concern. And I mean, I'm not trying to hint at anything. It's not a bait. Just simply asking a question to get some feedback.
하는 게 맞냐?
So is it right for us at Ustia as a fated guest? Is it appropriate? Anyways, one of the questions that I spotted earlier was,
많이 보시는 것 같은데 이 너무 편향된 의견에 대해서 그걸 어떻게 방지책을 가지고 있느냐.
what are your plans to be not biased when it comes to reviewing community feedback?
많이 말씀드린 것 같긴
I hope that we responded to that question to a certain extent
강한 어조에
earlier.
중복적으로 올라오는 글들에 아무래도
When it comes to
있습니다.
like sort of spamming comments, it definitely catches our eye. And definitely when it comes to, we definitely lean towards criticism than praise when reviewing feedback.
에서 나오는 의견들이라고 하면 그러면
If it's a comment that's
생각을 하는데 이
observed across all regions and all languages, then yes, we can definitely take that into account. But if it's only shown in certain parts of the world, then we try to review it once again or filter it once again through our survey.
당연히 내부에서도
But
충분히 논의를 하고
our goal is to stay open-minded and review everything as much as possible internally.
어떻게 보면 편향될 수도 있는 그런 의견들을 그대로 따르지는 않습니다.
So don't worry, we don't blindly follow some comments in certain communities.
앞으로의 방향성에 굉장히 큰 영향을 미치는 그런 결정들을
When it comes to big decisions, we don't solely depend on community feedback. We definitely go through some evaluation verification processes.
해서 내부에서도 충분히 또 많이 협의를
And we go through a lot of internal conversations and discussions. So don't worry about that.
마이룸 카펫 구매 제한 999개 말고 좀 줄여주시면
Okay, so can you reduce the number of carpets that you can purchase? It's 999.
다가 카펫 999개 샀다고.
Because you don't intend, but you kind of max it up, and then you get like 999 carpets.
Sorry about that. I didn't. Very unfortunate.
I didn't know it was the maximum number. I've never tried it myself, so I didn't know.
만들다 보니까 그렇게
Yeah, but somehow it happened. I was just developing, and that just happened. So I'm just going to be taking your feedback. I'm going to be making some edits. Sorry.
추후에 나올 인연손님 스토리
Okay, so about the faded guest stories,
샘물이나
what are you planning? Are you planning to come up with just normal stories, or are you going to be coming up with abnormal stories?
이게
지원하십시오.
짱드라마 쪽은 모르겠고 폐물
Well,
같은
I don't
경우에는
really know,
취향이
but
또
I
갈리는
think
걸로
that
알고
it
있어요.
differs based on your taste. Some people like those kind of abnormal stories,
문제에
dark
대한
stories,
갈망도 사실
something that is less mainstream. I know that a lot of people have desire towards those kind of stories that are a bit more darker, but we are trying to make it more applicable and more accepted by a larger audience. We are going to be going toward the direction of a more lighter story, but from time to time, maybe there could be some unique stories, a more darker front. Maybe.
네, NT땡 많이 말씀 주시는 거 사실
I know that you always mention NT something, but it's not going to be easy.
원래 소비하시는 것들 있잖아요. 그쪽 가서 일단 보시고
So
아직은
please go there and consume that content. And I don't think that's partnership or collaboration is easy to happen.
What about those like more hard content? Well, for me,
잘 쓰면은 맛이 모든
everybody knows that if you come up with a good quality story, good quality illustration, it would work. But
좀 떨어지면은 그때부터 되게
if the quality goes down, then you know those kind of hardcore content, it's not going to look good.
완성도 있는
So what we aim for is a more complete story with good quality. I can really accept a large variety of things.
아까 그 리듬 게임에 이제 캐릭터
So-
추가 가능할
Is it possible to add characters to rhythm game?
캐릭터 추가했으면 좋겠다라는 의견 주셨어요.
That was one of the questions. Definitely, we can definitely add more characters. So let us review that internally.
가지고 있는 가구 추가로 구입할 때
And also, when you purchase existing furniture, can you make the repurchase more convenient?
내가 보유하고 있는 스티커하고 내가 보유하고
So
있는
for
아이템하고
existing
그 아래에
stickers and existing items,
구매할 수 있는 아이템이 한 UI에 있어서
and also purchasable items, they're all in one UI. But for
분리를 해놔서 그 부분이 좀
my room, the store is separate, so I know that purchase is not very convenient. So next time that we improve my room, we will definitely take this feedback into account.
재련가루가
And
들어간 패키지
also, when it comes to refining powder,
있었으면 좋겠다고 해주셨는데
there's more requests for products with refining powder.
담당하시는 분하고 논의해가지고
I will discuss this with our MD part, and I will get back. I will definitely take this into consideration.
Yeah, I think that the live Q&A really makes the time fly.
떠드는 이 시간이
We're just, having a very light conversation. And I think that it's really interesting. It's the most fun part about our live stream.
되지 않은
Yeah, because, it's not refined, it's not well structured, but, time just goes by so quickly.
노골적인 장면을
Okay, so is there going to be more exposure if you release on Steam?
뭐가 더
Well,
수위가 높다 낮다가 아니고 그냥
it's not going to be
원래
about
하던
more
거를
or
그냥
less
스팀에서
exposure.
하는
It's going to be just us on Steam. It's going to be what we have been doing so far. We're not going to be, showing more nudity or showing more exposure because it's going to be a threat to other games. Maybe we can
콜라보레이션 안 합니다.
tell you about Kantham. We're not going to be collaborating with it. It's more of something that everybody knows, so I think that we can still mention Kantham.
새로운 그걸로 나왔습니다.
리베르타
So for Liberta scene costume, I know that Liberta has a lot of fans. I know, so we may expect something
저도
regarding Liberta.
Yeah, I like her.
저 최애캐 리베르타 이런 그 말도 되게 많이 들어봤고
Yes, I also heard a lot from people around me that their favorite character is Roberta.
I really like Lowen and Roberta because you put less effort on it. I mean, you didn't like really put everything to it, and I think that really makes me like them more. Yeah, because like I was really fast in the illustrations,
하긴 로엔도 사실
and I think like Lowen it was first an NPC.
로엔도
So,
리베르타 둘다 어떤 느낌이었냐면
Roberta,
시간을
Lowen.
이제 작업해야 된다고 말을 해서 내가
I didn't really put in a lot of thought or effort because there should have been a new character that should have been released, which is why I didn't really put that much into it. But it seems that everybody really likes them.
Remember Greta, our new NPC? It's not planned as a playable character.
그렇게 여체로서 매력적이진 않겠지.
I mean, we thought that she's not going to be too attractive because she's muscular, but she ended up being really pretty and really attractive. So I think Greta is going to be very popular as well.
드려야지 하고
I mean, I simply thought, I can create some muscular female character for those who want it, but it turns out to be really nice.
Yeah. What about like 50 Shades of Grey?
네, 센스 있으시네요. 네.
Yeah, I think that you are really sensible.
소냐도 NPC 데뷔였어.
Yeah.
Sonia was also NPC. Yes,
Mhm.
correct.
이 NPC로 나와서
Yeah, so for those characters that used to be NPC, if we add more characters, more stories to it, then I think that they really become popular easily.
소냐가요?
Yeah, Darian and Sonya, they have that kind of aspect too. And I think that after the release of Tear, you really like them. I think that's like pretty much the same trend. And you say Olivia a lot, you guys really like Olivia, but maybe if we come up with a new character, you might be less interested in Olivia.
나올 거라고 벌써 이렇게.
Well, are you hinting that there's going to be a new character?
Well, no.
아니야 진짜 아니야 진짜
No, really.
No,
there's not going
it's
to be
really
any new
not,
characters. Don't
I
really
wasn't
expect
trying to
for one.
hint at anything. No bait, no hint. I'm sorry.
Okay, so for all of the anniversaries, will there be a costume exclusive?
Exclusive costume, exclusive. We don't have a specific plan for it. We don't want to add too much exclusive stuff. But we're not saying that we're not going to release exclusive characters. So no clear answer here, but
부담스럽지 않은 선 정도로
we
한다.
want to limit the number of exclusive stuff to something that's not too overwhelming.
Yeah, there were some like questions about Slender. So it's not young characters, but slender characters. Well, we are looking into when we're going to be releasing them, but I just want to tell our fans, please wait. Then, what do you think about slender? What is like the criteria for slender? How do you define slender? Well, I think that if you look at our character list, there's really no slender characters. Glacia may be similar to Slender, but she's more of a young character, which is why when I define Slender, they should be an adult character. They should be like the same size as Sarah, but needs to be more slender in their body shape. So I think that maybe our fans are going to be liking this Slender character. What about Roberta?
Yes,
Yeah.
but exactly you're pointing at Liberta.
저는 리베르타가 이런 타겟을 잡을 수 있다고 생각합니다.
I
I
think
think-
Liberta can really appeal to audiences like this.
레클리스.
What about Reckless?
Reckless. Yes.
Yeah, pretty
Sure.
much.
Yes.
오마와와 슬렌더는 다르기 때문에 맞습니다.
Yeah, because young characters, those girl characters, and slender characters are different.
Mm-hmm.
저희 공식 엠베서더가 슬렌더에 관심이 없으신가요?
What about our ambassador? Are you not interested in slender types?
관심을 좀 가져주십사.
Please.
Yeah. Let's ask the ambassador to be more interested in slender
Yeah.
characters.
관심이 없어.
Yeah, they're not interested at all, it seems. Then what's your taste? What kind of characters do you like?
세라 좋아.
Who's your favorite character? Sarah? Leatrice?
세라 정도면 근데 슬렌더
Well, I think that Sarah is more of a slender type character.
근데 세라가 원래 좀
She has that kind of vibe. Yeah, but when I first came up with the concept, I actually wanted her to have a very sleek body shape.
신규 캐릭터 팩은
For new character packs,
2.5주년에 이제 새로운 이벤트 팩이 나올 것 같고요.
there will be probably be an event pack, a new event pack for 2.5th anniversary, and new character pack will be released sometime next year.
Yeah.
세라 가장 좋아하시고.
Yes,
Yeah.
Kim Bok-gu loves Sarah the most.
인연 손님 추가 주기는
Yeah, so we're going to be adding the faded guests, and the frequency would be what I've mentioned in our previous announcements. And
팩은 일단
the
1년
event packs are going to be out every year. And
상시 업데이트로.
there's also going to be a regular update.
다음 스토리 팩은
And for our next story
아마
pack,
10월 말 11월
I think it would be at the end of October or early November. We're currently preparing for it.
G 스토리는
For
어느 정도 기대해도 되나요?
19 store G story, how much expectation can I get compared to the 18? I mean, I relay your feedback to the basement for 2-1. So combining all the feedback
전문 얘기도 하고 그랬었는데
and
측면이라든지
regarding the consistency and also relevance,
재밌게 감상하실 수 있도록
we'll make sure that we come up with a good story that you can enjoy.
벤타나가 매우 매력적이지만
Ventana is really attractive. Yeah, I think that the global channel mentioned about Ventana before.
하나 컷신 월드컵에서
Yeah, she is.
컷신에서는
When it comes to her cutscene, she's number one. But when it comes to the popularity for just her character, I think it's different story. So, I think next year maybe we can see some of the stories where we see her. But I think that Ventana character is really strong. So I'm not really sure what we are coming up with next, but I'm thinking about maybe some more illustrations. We have actually targeted the cutscenes, but it seems people are more focused on Ventana, so not really sure what's coming up next.
When will Tyr get a new costume? I mean, Tyr just came out, guys. She just came out.
티르가 나름 어떻게 보면
So Tyr
기획 캐릭터인 만큼
is a planned character, so
취향에 최대한 이제 부합할 수 있도록
we want to cater to a pretty specific audience. So we prepared a lot for Tyr, so please show her a lot of love, and you'll see more additions potentially in the future.
드러나나요?
Yeah, so if there is more work that you need to do, will there be more people like added to the team? Yeah, that definitely yes, but it's really difficult for us to add like new resources, new talents to the team forever. You might say that you should be like recruiting limitlessly, but that's not going to happen. I really do want to copy Origami. I hope that he's 2 people. I hope that as much as we get attention, as much as we get more sales, we just want to, make Origami 2 people. But that can't happen.
Maybe you can make a Tamagotchi.
괜찮은데 이렇게 해서 빼주세요. 저거는
Yeah, next question is about the refinement powder.
재련을 얼마나 잘하는지.
But I think that our game really depends on how you're creating your gears,
올 때마다 하나씩
how
올라갈
you're
때마다
using the refining powder,
특히
and
마법
as
시작하면
more
딜이 많이
as
부족되는
you
콘텐츠에서
go, I think that
굉장히 확실하고
it is
어떻게 보면 좀
effective, very effective, and this is probably the key.
네, 중에
And the
하나이기
key
때문에
system is the refining
그거를
powder,
빼는 거는
which is
조금
why we
어려울 것
cannot really
같아요.
remove them altogether, because that's like the identity of our game. And it is important for the growth of the characters in the long term. So we cannot really remove that part from our game.
Yes, regarding additional growth factors, I made a comment before. So when it comes to end content, there is a gear and refinement.
졸업이라고 하잖아요. 졸업을 많은 분들께서
So when it comes to graduation,
코어 유저분들께서
many
하게 되면
core users when they graduate, then of course, then we need to consider putting in more growth factors because if you are graduating, then we need to give you more. That naturally comes with the maturity of the service, but when it comes to the graduation of the gear, that's not something that a large portion of our users have achieved. That's why we are not too seriously considering growth factors quite yet. So as we get more graduation, then we can definitely consider more growth factors. So, I mean, we need to balance it out. And also, daily missions. Daily missions may feel like daily homework. So, actually, what I wanted to share today is that when it comes to exploration, when it comes to field content, we actually had feedback about maybe weekly reset, and we had a lot of discussion regarding weekly reset internally, but we had variety of opinions internally as well. So we have not landed on conclusion. So maybe weekly reset and change of missions. That might sound simple and easy, but from somebody who's already enjoying it already, if it's just 7 times the reward, then maybe we will invite users who were not willing to participate more because the reward is so high. And the users who were already participating well, they were using it as a strategy to collect more money or collect more coins. So is resetting on a weekly basis, is it really only positive? So we have not set a clear direction on what to do. So that's what I wanted to share today.
Yeah, I think that these kind of questions were raised in all of the channels. Yeah, because like we're getting more drastic. Like if that's the case, then there could be like more rewards. I don't really know if that's the right direction. We had those kind of internal discussions, opinions, so yeah, let's see. Yeah, so there are many different costume concepts, and for all of the channels, you mentioned about nurse costumes or racing girl costumes. We have been getting a lot of these requests from all of our users, all of our fans worldwide. I would say that we need to see the right timing. And we have talked about recruitment, right? We have been looking into a lot of candidates. And I think that they have a very similar style of drawing. Maybe they're from the same Hagwon, they're from the same drawing institute.
For battle nuns, a lot of people draw battle nuns. I don't know why.
이게 서로 약간 안 맞는 거잖아.
I think like battle and nun, it's very ironic, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's a mismatch.
so battle and nun, like two completely opposite concepts. So when we combine two completely opposite concepts, maybe that appeals to people
Maybe.
because of the irony and contradiction.
So what can we then combine? Like two separate conflicting concepts.
약간 그거랑은 좀 다른.
Yeah, maybe it is a bit different, but you
Like
know,
teacher and drinking.
oh, but that really does happen in real life.
Teachers drink,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So it's not really completely
Yeah.
contradictory.
But what about like battling nuns?
그 몽크잖아, 몽크.
So
And what about, like,
battle
monks?
battle monks, but monks do battle.
Yeah, there is a real life example. I don't know like how far you guys are gonna go.
그래서 다리안
But I do like uniforms. That's why I love Darian because she's wearing a uniform. And Wilhelmia with her uniform, I really loved it.
그런 의상들이 약간 좀 약간 그런 제복 유니폼 그런 게
Uniform, I definitely have a taste for that.
A lot of people do.
and it's very easy to cosplay as well.
And from the global channel, I'm not really sure if I can mention this, but
공격적인.
they want a more aggressive and strong concept skill cutscenes, and they're asking whether if you're going to be adding those kind of cutscenes in the future. Oh, I get it now.
뭐 저것도 그러니까 아이디어가 어떻게 나오느냐에
Well,
따라
it really depends on the idea. We can, of course, but not really sure whether if Sylvia has that kind of propensity. Yeah, she is more of an aggressive type, but actually that wasn't my intention. I thought that she could
역전하는 그런 느낌으로 그리고
kind of break through crises,
확 공격적으로
consume all of the pain.
쪼여지다가 이렇게 당하고 있다가 이렇게
So I wanted her to be a really strong character that breaks through. But when it comes to like these like magic girls, they have like these crises and they break through, and that's what I wanted to intend for the skill cutscenes.
I think that was really creative.
그냥 기존에 혼자 이렇게 뭔가 하다가 하는 게 아니라 그 사이에서
So the interactions between the two, I think that really stood out.
What about like healthy aggressiveness?
Healthy aggressiveness.
유튜브 라이브 방송
So watching our YouTube live,
받은 거지. 게임이 처음이다. 약간 이런
I saw a comment that this is the first time that I feel healthy while playing the game. Somebody commented that.
혈액 순환이 잘 된다.
Yeah.
A lot of like good blood flow. So apparently some people were feeling healthy while playing our game.
모르페아도
Yeah, and Warpia has that kind of feeling too.
헬스케어 게임.
It's a healthcare game.
Good for your health.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Maybe if we didn't have a slogan, then maybe we can use that. A healthy game or a game that makes you healthy. I really like that kind of slogan because if you see like the rest of the words or the image, like the images are just fine. You don't really see the words or the characters on it.
일본 쪽에서 인터랙션을 더
아.
혹시 뭐 이렇게 올라왔는데
Yeah, so if you look at the Japanese channel, I think that more of you are asking for more interactions. Or maybe like puzzles?
Like a pause.
A pause.
I think it's pause.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess maybe if that's the case, then you can't really enjoy the entire interaction. Yeah. So even though it's an interaction, then maybe we can still like target it. It's not going to be linear, or maybe like it could be more focused.
히든 되게 히든
Yeah, there are like a lot of hidden actions, and our intention was make it hidden so that it's not that easy to spot. But for Wilhelmina, there were a lot of combos. I know that there are different tastes, which is why it might not target like a wide audience. So we had to kind of tweak the level of exposure.
그러니까 엄청 히든은
Right.
엄청 어렵게도 해볼까 이런 생각.
So, and sometimes I thought maybe make it very difficult and hide it like deep inside. But if that happens, then that's going to upset some players.
Yeah.
Yes, too difficult is not always good.
Oh, do you have any like guild battle updates coming up?
VR은 아직까지는
For RVR, using Guild Voice, we don't really have a plan for that.
할아버지께 브라운더스트 스킬의 정면샷을 보여드리면
If I show Browndust2 skill cutscene or skill animation to my grandpa, ... what would happen?
따로 영입해.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be definitely recruiting him as a storyteller.
인생이 벌써 어떤 말씀
I'm really looking forward to the story afterwards. What would happen?
근데 왜 할아버지께
But why to grandpa?
건강해지.
Oh, because it makes you healthy.
Ah. I didn't think of that.
근데 이번 실비랑 좀
But I don't think that we can use Sylvia as the character.
작업할 때
When I work
하다는 생각 안 했어.
for my illustrations, I really didn't think
그려지고 있는 거야.
that Sylvia is a strong character. Or I didn't think that there were a lot of like nudity and sexiness.
Because
What-
you're getting used to
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, but when you actually work on the illustration yourself, you don't really get too sensitive about these scenes or nudity.
국내 게임에서 믿을 수 없다.
But like a lot of people have been giving me feedback that they cannot believe that this is a Korean game.
이미 반영된 영상처럼 많이들 그렇게 생각하시더라고요.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people do think that these kind of features are reflected.
But I mean, it doesn't show explicitly what it is. So for interaction, I do want to ask in the future in the survey. It was not dealt in the most recent survey, but this time around we asked
아무래도 최근에 업데이트한
what was most fun in the season event.
그래서 아마 저희 캐릭터 인기 투표도 코스튬
And then a lot of people mentioned the updated story. So
그냥 최근에
costumes and interactions.
했었던 상호작용이 인기 순위가 높게 나올 것
I think the most recent interaction would be most popular among our players. So I wanted it to be fair, like a fair game when it comes to survey, because obviously you're going to remember the most latest one.
자연스러운 흐름 같기도 하고
I mean, it's a natural response, but maybe it's not a level playing field when we compare different interactions.
Yeah, so I guess that you want it to be more spicy.
분들이 다 이제 좀
Yeah, we're getting like similar questions. Okay, so we're going to be answering one or two more questions additionally. So let's get one question from the content side and the business side to wrap up.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, we've been talking about a lot of artwork, right?
Yeah, a lot of questions focus on art.
보네탑 확장 및 개선 예정. 네,
So the Salvation Tower improvement, is there any plan to improve and expand it?
밴을 한다든지 초반 선택지 중에
So maybe banning one of the options. So could be a possible route. So yes, we are working on the improvement of the Salvation Tower. So maybe in the next or the stream after, we'll be able to share more updates.
So my room BM or like new packages were one of the questions that came in.
마이룸 BM
But for my room
같은 경우는
BM,
이제 저희 옆 동네 게임에서 이제 비슷한
there is a
상품
similar
패키지, 그 패스를
product package or
하시는 걸
pass
봤는데
that has been
저희도
adopted.
한번
It's not our
시도해보지
game,
않을까?
but it's a
기념이나
game that we
그런
know.
좀 기념할
But
만한
I guess
날짜에
it's not going to be updated
마이룸
soon,
게임 같은
but
경우는
through
이제
any
좀
like anniversary events,
성장과
maybe
특히 이제 어떤
we can add
격차나 이런
them.
것들과
And
상관없이 정말
it's going to be
취향으로
regardless of the
하시는
growth
거다
gap.
보니까
It's just based on your taste. It's just what you like to do. So maybe we can
시도해볼 수
consider
있을
those. Maybe we
법한
can try
그런
them out.
상품인 것 같고요.
And I think that it's something that is
그다음에
worth the
연우는
try for just playing and enjoying.
저희 상품 계획하시는 분하고 논의해가지고
And
적당한 텀으로
when it comes
그런
to
것들 이제 좀
like the tier of goddess,
고민을 하고 있는데
we are
저희의
putting in a
지금
lot of thought.
좀 가장 큰 고민은
But our biggest concern is starting from the end of October or maybe like October.
앞서 말씀드렸던 그런
As mentioned, there are going to be
떠나서 그
not like collaborations, but regardless of collaborations, there are some season issues, meaning that there are holidays like Thanksgiving. We have Halloween at the 31st of October, and in mid-November there is another holiday, and there's also Black Friday at the end of November. So there are a lot of season events offline, and maybe we can like use them, or maybe those holidays could be served as a week that you can shop. So I'm not really sure how we're going to be responding to those demands. However, going forward,
패키지들을 그러니까 상품들을
the products and the
어떻게 하면
packages
잘 저희가 적당하게
are
많은
going
분들께서
to be
기분 좋게 그런 상품들 같은
announced and
것들을
introduced
살펴보실 수
to a
있을까
wide
고민을 많이 하고
range
있고요.
of
그렇다고 이제
audiences.
무작정
But we're not
다
going to
엄청
be
높여서 싸게
raising the
이렇게
price, or
하는
we're
거는
not going to be like
궁극적으로 저희
giving
게임에 좀
out.
건전하지 않다고 생각을 하기 때문에 그런
I
부분을
don't
저희가
think that
밸런스를 잘
is
조절해가지고
going to be the key of our game, and we're going to be balancing them out. So that's our plan. So when it comes to like tier of goddesses or like refining powders, maybe they could be included, but still on our plan.
원화집 아트북 출시
And also,
계획인데요. 마침
Art
오늘
book. Is there a plan to
저희
release art
아트북
book?
하자 이렇게 또 제안해 주신 회사가
Oh,
있으셔가지고
so actually we had one company who suggested collaborating on an art book.
굉장히 소위 말해 리소스가 많이 들어가거든요.
So art book requires a lot of resources, if you know. So page drawing, designing, planning. When it comes to an art book, you definitely want some quality, which requires a lot of resources. So that definitely opens a room for discussion.
좋은 기회에
We have a good opportunity for partnership. But if we do work on something like that, we want to make sure that our end product is satisfactory to you. We definitely want to get started, but if we do get started, we will make sure that
Well, I
it's
have to
going to be
actually
good.
think about it. I mean, like, giving me this task, I'm not going to be coming up with a good quality product. I mean, I have to put in a lot of thought into it, a lot of time into it, a lot of energy. If that's the case, then, like the basement is going to be sealed. You're going to be seeing a lot of cutscenes in the future, a lot of interactions. If I work on the art book, there's going to be no cutscenes, no interactions.
Yeah, I mean, origami needs to work a lot on that, but there's also a planner, like a planning team on the art book, so the team needs to work hard for that as well. So when it comes to art book, there's ideation and rough drafting. There are many different processes, and also identifying which characters to include in the art book, that itself requires a lot of time. So it doesn't happen overnight, of course. It's not like I work on it for one day and spend 10 hours on it and then can get it done.
Yeah, so we are getting suggestions from companies. They say that maybe we can target the 3.5th anniversary. That's like way in the future, right? So it means that it takes a lot of time. We do have the willpower, we have some plans, but it will definitely take some time.
네.
Okay.
All right.
오늘은 요 정도로
Then
해가지고
shall we wrap up our Q&A?
마무리해 보도록 하겠습니다.
Yeah, I think that we can now wrap up our live Q&A. Thank you very much, guys. It has been like well into 2 hours. It's already like nighttime. So thank you for your participation. I think that we can now close our live stream. Can you please say last words, guys?
Yes, summer's gone and fall is here, everyone. All through the summer, thanks to our fans, we've been nothing but happy and grateful. The best way we can repay you is by delivering even more fun, more satisfying updates. From September to December, we're working hard on a wide range of updates to give back to you all.
Yeah, I think that you can tell the vibes have changed since the second anniversary. But I think that's going to be a very short moment. We're not going to get too comfortable because the whole dev team is already grinding for the next update. It was really awesome getting to meet so many fans this time, and it made us really happy. We're going to keep it up and level up our game so that we can all enjoy. So guys, thank you so much. We'll catch you up next time and hope you all stay happy and healthy.
저희가 2주년 때 굉장히 많은 사랑을
So,
주셔가지고
in
저희 어떤
our
자신감이나 이런 것들도
second
많이
anniversary,
가지고
you
올라오긴
showed
했는데
a lot of us,
그럼에도
a lot of love
불구하고
to us,
항상
and
겸손하고
that made us
절실한
really
자세로
confident. But at the
저희가
same time, we want to be
예정된
humble
콘텐츠들,
and always stay humble
다양한 오프라인 행사들
and not
잘
take your love for
준비해가지고
granted.
재미있는
So we're going to
추억들
prepare our offline
남겨드리도록
events and,
하겠습니다.
well and make sure that we can always deliver fun to you. Thank you,
Goodbye.
everyone. Bye
Goodbye.
bye.